Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, it's round 12 of the OSCA Sportsman Series, and it's the SR Design Twin 75s here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And tonight, back again is Matt Bayuk. I'm Mike Goodman, Carlos Acosta behind the scenes here. And Matt, welcome back, and should be a fun one here tonight.
Yep, always a fun type of track, the flat race tracks with the magic mile here. Could be a one-lane chaos sort of deal, but you see guys take some crazy angles into the corner, and especially now that we're rolling with two sets of tires in the pit road and a very short fuel window. I think we're going to see some really fun stuff tonight.
Yeah, we got 50 or 75 laps per half here tonight, as the Twin 75s do dictate that in the name. And I believe, what is it, right around 50 laps or so, just generally. So it's going to be a lot of strategy. The two sets of tires, it's a strategy is going to be different. I'm not saying the strategy is taken away with the more tires here tonight. And again, top 12 will invert from half one to half two, so that should be a fun one to watch. But yeah, generally it's kind of a, this track, you can kind of run two lanes here. It's usually generally like the second and third lanes, I think, are going to be the preferred lanes here tonight, Matt. But as far as passing goes, I think that's really where the difficult part lies on this racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm not really quite sure yet, because we got guys out there running laps. It's so hard to race each other side by side here. Most of the time when guys are out there running practice laps, they're just running on their own and running the track. And it's a lot of racing the track. And it's not treacherous in the way Darlington is, but it's still a lot of racing the track, because it's tight if you push it too hard, but it's still loose off the corner. There's no traction because it's a flat racetrack. There's nothing to really catch you. There's not a whole lot going your way.
Oh yeah, we see some guys getting troubled off a corner exit. That might be where the calamity happens here tonight. And this is one thing I know I'm guilty of when I'm racing, Matt. But would it pay to find a buddy, find a teammate in practice, and kind of work on corner exits while you're passing, instead of kind of running these solo runs by yourself? Is there any benefit to that once you get into the race?
Absolutely, because again, the whole flat racetrack thing, the lack of banking, when you come off the corner, you're going to want to go all the way up to the wall, and when you side by side with somebody, it is exponentially harder to not run into them and keep it clean. So if some guys in this practice did take some time to get with teammates and figure it out, it will definitely help them, especially when all 30 plus cars here are packed up double file 16 rows deep.
Yeah, it's generally, I think a lot of guys want to set the fastest lap. They want to win practice, but setting up to how to race in the race is going to be key. And there you do see the driver's standings. Interesting note of a driver in the top 10. There you see Damien. I believe he's there in the 5th position. He's in the penalty box here tonight. And for the second week in a row, we're seeing the old vintage legend. And I got to rub my eyes. I don't know if it's Terry Labonte or if it's Johnny Eckert. And speaking of, there he is right on track on your screen. Going to be in the number 12 car for Damien tonight. So, Damien's going to take a hit in the points. And it's good to see Johnny back out there again. But it's still weird not seeing him in that number 90 car.
And I'll say, even on Damien's behalf, this is a big track for Damien. It's a shame for him that he has to miss this one. New Hampshire, I know, having been raced on the same track as him before, he loves New Hampshire. He always picks this track out as a track he likes to run and expects to do good at. So for him to not be here, probably can't be too happy about it. But I know Johnny Eckert, not really racing full time, will definitely take every opportunity he can come back and run some laps with us.
Yeah, and seeing his face a lot more in these past few weeks, it's kind of nice to see. But as we're kind of winding down practice, do see Cooper Johnson on top of the leaderboard in the points. But so maybe he could be a pick for somebody. And Carlos, you gotta pull up those standings, because they're so
beautiful.
No! I was a lot closer when I left.
Hey, when you left, I was also a lot closer as well.
Those are the Broadcasters Championship, again, after 11 races. But hey, a lot of things can happen, and certainly bound to happen tonight as we are qualifying right now. Right now you see Ty McIntosh. Again, we've seen him have those good runs, the past several weeks. But actually last week, I think we talked to him twice in the way we don't want to talk to him, having some issues. Hopefully we can. I think he did actually he ended up in a wreck and still ended up 10 in one race, if I remember correctly. But
I'll say for Ty, he's riding a wave of momentum right now. Last night in DSCR,
ooh,
he's getting the tires warmed up there for sure. But he's coming off a first career league win, actually, and that was at Pocono, a lot more of a high-speed track, but still a flat racetrack, and he's thrown on the boards in practice. So this track seems to suit him, and he could be going for number 2 league win here.
I gotta say, last night was the first time in Through TV history we ever had an in-car driver actually win, and so I was able to actually get his live reactions on stream. That was awesome.
And I loved that because I've Seth and I have been talking with Tyler for so long, and he has had a lot of horrible race results. So to see the raw emotion there was actually really awesome. Like it was cool to see that effect pay off.
Yeah, you could have seen himself psyching himself up and yeah, come on, yeah, just like that, just a little bit more. And the final corner on turn 3, because remember there is no turn 4. He was just over the moon.
Mm-hmm. That's
pretty awesome to be able to see that raw emotion, and we might get to see some raw emotion there from the number 6 of Zach Evans in the MeFi Foundation Ford, currently 5th in the qualifying standings. Johnny Eckert actually just moves up to the top of the leaderboard in that number 12 machine. And there we do have who do we have on track there? It looks different. I can't really tell who it is right now.
Scott Nicky.
Scott Nicky. A little blurry. I might have to get the side stream up.
Trying to see. I think most of our guys that were top 10 in practice have attempted to qualify or already have. I don't think McIntosh set a lap. I don't know if Austin Beers plans on setting a lap.
Oh. Here's the thing. McIntosh is on track. I wonder if within the next couple seconds we're going to be getting a McIntosh has received a throughput. Because he just disappeared.
I see it. I see it right now, actually, in the feed. McIntosh connection dropped due to upload packet loss. He and Ray Bracey, actually.
Yeah, like we were on him when he just disappeared.
Huh. Oh, okay, Beers is going out now, by the way.
Beers is going out to qualify. Top 3, Eckert, Tufts, and Cooper.
I know the track conditions have changed, but the fastest time in qualifying right now is that 32.26 put down by Mr. Johnny Eckert. That time would have ranked him, it looks like, 18th in practice. Wow, so track is definitely not as grippy right now.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And we did see when Ty McIntosh, before he lost his connection, we've seen how squirrely he got off the corner number 2. I see Austin Beer, see how much grip he has. Looks like he made that corner just fine.
I think he did pretty good here in his modifieds.
Yeah, he did even good. He's very familiar with this track in real life and on the sim. Did good. I believe he won the strictly stock race for tonight's event. He goes to 8th. 8th, yep.
Oh, your favorite car there, Goody?
Yeah, it's the old. It just makes me think of old Smoking the Bandit there, Jordan Tarble.
You should look at the rear end. Go to like a chase cam, Carlos, and look at what his rear end says.
Don't tell me this is
a license plate.
Unfortunately,
it is a license plate.
Chase. I forgot I had set this. Okay, you know what? We're gonna break the immersion, guys. This is not a real life broadcast. I don't know if you've noticed that.
He left. Pause it because he just reset. But
we're not driving real cars.
He just left.
Oh,
okay, just like go reverse or whatever.
I thought he was telling us.
It says Bandit 1 on the back of it.
I thought Carlos was telling us we weren't live.
Smoking the Bandit.
Dewar choosing the real high line in his qualifying lap there. Oh, it looks like he might have connection issues as well. So it might be a theme here tonight for some of these drivers. But Johnny Eckert does get the pole. But before we get going here with the starting lineups, Carlos, start off with the picks.
That's
Ooh,
right.
we're gonna.
Set in our hands
I
here.
am gonna go with Seth Rawls.
The
Ooh,
race
I like it.
sponsor.
Yeah,
Nice.
he sponsored a race before in a different league, and he almost won that one.
So hey, I like it. I like it a lot.
He's also a huge fan of this track. He goes here like every year. I've got some ground to make up, so I will be bland and vanilla and lame and take the pole sitter, Johnny
Oh,
Eckert.
Johnny Eckert. All right. Well, I'm gonna gamble. I liked how he qualified. He was fastest in practice. I'm gonna go with Cooper Johnson for half number one here. But so the picks are in, and we'll go through the starting lineup here. And on the pole again is Johnny Eckert in the South Shore Racing Chevrolet, and he's out of Long Island, New York. And alongside him is the young buck of Caden Tufts in the 00 Weekend Woodsman Chevrolet, and he's from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Starting third from Northampton, Pennsylvania is Austin Beers for Beers Motorsports and his number 19 Toyota. To his outside, his teammate Cooper Johnson from South St. Paul, Minnesota.
And starting in the fifth position in the 71 Dave Marcus wannabe three-pedal Mafia Toyota, it's David Carpenter, and he's out of New Jersey. And alongside him in the number 9 is David Westergreen in his South Shore Racing Chevy, and he's coming out of Illinois.
Starting seventh, Zach Roethlisberger from Kenosha, Wisconsin for In-Law Racing. To his outside, number 96, Adam Tepe for South Shore Racing in his Chevrolet from South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, don't you know, in the 83 car is Vincent Isabella for Beers Motorsports, and he's out of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And alongside him, it's Mr. Me Fine, Zach Evans in his number 6 Wally Racing Ford, and he's from Princeton, North Carolina.
Starting 11th in the number 16 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet from Kansas is Chris Gutierrez. To his outside is the number 32 Dusty Dewar for Do Good Motorsports from Medford, Wisconsin.
And in the 13th position is our points leader, Nick Indelicato in the number 4 Shift Esports Ford. He's out of Syracuse, New York. And alongside him, making his return, he's back. It's Dallas Myhan in the 26th Shift Esports Ford, and he's from Struthers, Ohio.
Hailing from Peabody, Massachusetts, and sponsoring the race today is Seth Rawls and his number 25 Shift Esports Ford Mustang. To his outside, the number 99 Gilberto Javier Gomera for S2 Racing Team from Massachusetts.
Starting 17th is John Lynch in his number 86 In-Law Racing Chevy, and he's out of Yulee, Florida. And alongside him is Alex Kenton in his number 14 Weekend Woodsman Chevrolet, and he's out of Wyoming.
Next up, starting 19th back in row 10 is the number 03 of Dylan Thomas for Mountain Type Motorsports from Denison, Texas. To his outside, and the number 35 Weekend Woodsman Chevrolet from Ohio, Timothy Conrad.
And starting in the 21st position is, what was that, Carlos?
No, yeah.
We good?
No, yeah, no. Ty McIntosh on chat saying that his internet has gone fully. He's absolutely.
Oh, that's not good. So we'll continue the lineups here. Hopefully he can get back in somehow, some way. But starting in the 21st position is Mr. Smokey himself, the Bandit. Number 39, Jordan Tarble for Mountain Type Motorsports, and he's out of Thomasville, North Carolina. And alongside him is Mr. Brent Jones in his number 89 Mountain Type Motorsports Chevrolet, and he's from Gore, Michigan.
Starting 23rd from Holbrook, New York, driver of the number 21 64XV Racing Toyota, Thomas Capiano. To his outside is Adam Peeler in the number 13 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet from South Carolina.
And starting in the 25th position, number 2 in the points, Kean Raleigh in his number 11 Shift Esports Ford. He's from Highland Heights, Kentucky. And alongside him, everyone's favorite number, the 44 of Zach Scott Nicky. And he is for 6415 Racing, and he's from Buffalo, New York.
Starting in the 27th spot here from Ocean, New Jersey, and one of those three-pedal Mafia Toyotas, number 72, Aaron Lineman. To his outside, the number 5 of Cody McLean for the Weekend Woodsman from Rochester, Pennsylvania.
And next up in the 29th position is Neil Rutt III he's for Three Pedal Mafia, Toyota, and he's from Colts Neck, New Jersey. And alongside him from way up north in Canada, it is Robert Hill Jr. for Mountain Type Motorsports, and he's out of Ottawa, Ontario. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm calling an audible here from what the lineup actually says because we don't have Ty McIntosh yet. But starting 31st will be Ray Bracey in the number 80 Wally Racing Ford from Charleston, South Carolina. Rounding out the back of the field today, who also didn't set a lap, number 73, Kynan Jones, the Land Shark for In-Law Racing, and his number 73 Chevrolet from Blackwater, Queensland, Australia.
And just because I believe we'll say hopefully. Oh, they're wrecking already. I think
they're okay.
I think they're okay, but we'll just say Ty McIntosh. Hopefully he comes for S2 Racing. He's from Asheville, North Carolina. But then we have some interesting things going on here on the racetrack as we are under green. As the field shuffles quite a bit, there's probably a lot to unpack there. But right now, Johnny Eckert holds the top spot.
Just an update on Cabiano. Something is amiss on the 21 car. I don't know if he missed a shift or not, but he is currently crawling down the backstretch at about 90 miles an hour.
So
there he goes.
He was trying to stay off the racetrack. It looks like, is he having trouble shifting gears? It looks like he's under power.
Or he's smoking. He's
Is that a
killing,
blow
he's
engine?
killing animals.
Did he money shift it again?
I think
Did
he might have shifted it.
I feel like someone did that a couple weeks ago. I don't know if that was Thomas or not, so maybe something wrong with the shifter there for the 21, but blew the motor, and that stacked the field up as we went green here in the SR Design 25 tier and half one. We'll take a look at it once again.
Oh,
and that was a good hit there for Kian. Wonder if he's going to have some damage that's going to...
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder if this is what you thought was the red goodie.
Oh, we got one spinning towards the inside wall on the backstretch.
Dan Green, who do we have a number? I think it might...
I think Jordan Tarble.
39.
Tarble keeps it going under power. Hopefully the Bandit can make magic happen. He'll work his way back up, but we stay under green so far. So probably not the chaos we thought we'd see, this early on in the going. See what happened to bring out that spin here in the 3-wide TV multicam.
Too much beans!
Too much beans! I was waiting for Carlos.
Beans.
Oh, and he hits that inside wall. Pretty good. Owie.
He's on pit road now, and there it is. This track. It's tight, and then you get off the corner, and then the tires just pick up, and then all of a sudden it wants to spin out on you.
Yeah, it seems like if you have any wheel input while you're getting back on throttle here at New Hampshire, and it's so hard to do to manage both the wheel where you want the wheels pointed and when to put the power down, and it can get just about anybody. Right now, there you see the battle for the third position. Teammates Austin Beers and Cooper Johnson battling for that third spot. Johnny Eckert still holding on to the lead there.
Yeah, Caden Tufts was making some runs at him, and he's keeping up, but he can't quite get the runoff he's looking. He is really driving that race car, though. He's getting pretty tail happy off the corners here. He's going for the lead early, and I think all Eckert has to do here is just hang on and hold Tufts off, and in about 10 laps here, he'll start to gap the 00 car.
I think one of the last times you were on our broadcast, I think we've seen this from Caden before. We thought he was going to burn his tires. He was sliding all over the racetrack, but I think he was still able to pick up the half win.
But he just keeps going?
Yeah, he just keeps going. You just never think those tires are going to hang on, and he manages to find a way. We'll see if, Caden can do so, because, last lap by, they virtually ran identical laps. But it looks like Johnny now might be pulling away just a little bit by a car length or so.
And I know smooth, methodical driving is always a beautiful craft to watch, but guys like Austin Beers, Vincent Isabella, and apparently Caden Tufts, guys who just drive the absolute piss out of it every single lap, it's a ton of fun to watch.
Yeah, they're just giving it everything the car has, and yeah, they're both an art form indeed in racing, especially if you can maintain, a top 10, top 5, you get a win. I guess anyone can burn it off and hang on to it and then fall to the back. Yeah.
Oh.
Carlo?
What you got? Oh, look who's here!
Guess who's back? Back again. McIntosh is back. Whoop, whoop.
And there's points to be gained. Tarble is several laps down, and Capiano is still sitting on pit road. There are points to gain, even though he might finish 10 laps down.
And remember, now that he's on racetrack too, every caution we do get in half number one, he will get waved around the pace car, so he could definitely, there's points to be had. It pays to get every position, and especially for him, kind of being just inside the playoff standing, the chase standings. Every point's going to be key for that 10 car. There you
Looking
go.
back. Yep, that's exactly what I was just looking at there.
Yeah.
Delicado going around Tepe.
It looked like everyone's going to come together, and Delicado moves to that 8th position. He's picked up a win since you've been gone, but he hasn't been that dominant driver that we've seen early on in the season. It looks like a lot of these guys have definitely stepped it up competition-wise, and that could be something, once the playoffs start, or the chase starts, it could be very fun and interesting to watch. So be sure to tune in every week here on 3 Wide Television for OSCA competition.
Yeah, and, if it's a bunch of different mixes of winners, obviously everybody wants to get in on the winning and get in the win column. But when one guy's winning all the races, it kind of makes everybody upset. Like, everybody's, after a few weeks, it's like, okay, come on now. Like, somebody else going to win, or am I going to have to go up there and do it myself? And I've experienced it before. There's actually more of a drive to be the guy to go up there and knock off the guy who's dominating.
Yeah, and that's definitely what has happened here, but we'll see if Delicado can get his form back. Ooh, you see the wheel input. Ooh, nice save there. That was a fine save for Zach Evans, and there's no safety vest this week for Zach Evans, so he's feeling confident that he can make it through this race without getting in a wreck. I don't know if that's true or not. Because he seems to always have the color in the vest. And now his car is pink, and he's got a brighter pink than Tepe's. So I think you should be able to miss that number 6 Ford out there. You see how much he's fighting that car though on exit. That just shows how much you have to drive here on this racetrack. That even though Evans' car relatively looks stable, but there's still a lot of wheel input to maintain that control.
Yeah, and as I look throughout the track, there is action everywhere. These guys are being very racy. I'm seeing two distinct different styles of driving. Arcing into the corner, kind of hugging around the bottom and coming off like normal. And then I'm seeing guys throw it in there, wash up mid-corner, come back down, diamonding it, and guys are running each other up the track, and you've got some guys like Zach Roethlisberger and Vincent Isabella all the way up there in that 4th lane, driving all the way back down to the bottom. Very close contact on my part. I know you don't see it on the broadcast. I'm just trying to keep you updated. They are really going at it here for this 6th spot right now. You'll see Isabella track up a little bit. He can't quite get that close to Isabella because you don't really know if Isabella's going to arc it down. Just the dynamic racing lines and all the different ways you can get around this track make the side-by-side battles so much more enticing.
Yeah, and that's definitely where, even if you're the guy on the bottom if you're Roethlisberger or Isabella, you got to kind of figure out how to run your lane the best way possible with the car alongside you. And also, maybe you try to find ways to kind of take away their line, as they get close going into the corner.
You're going to cross under Zach Roethlisberger here and try to get the power off the corner. Oh, he's got to back out of it. He can't make it stick there. I think Roethlisberger's going to take this spot.
Yep, Roethlisberger will prevail in the meantime, but I don't think Vincent Isabella is done by any means. And while they battle, Delicado is back in the mix, and he's looking to gain from that 8th position where he sits right now. There's 2 cars right in front of him, so he's hungry. He's on the prowl.
He is, and the thing is, it's not one of his more favorite tracks. I talked to him and the Shift guys before, and he was like, "How the heck do you run this track?" He's doing pretty good there, making the pass for 7th, but he's one of the biggest movers, and he's only up 6 spots. He and Dylan Thomas are up 6 spots, and you've got to go pretty far back before you find anybody else that's moved up that far. Kean Rowley's up from 25th to 19th. Robert Hill is up from 30th to 20th. Racing is fun to watch here. Thank you for the graphic there. But passing is definitely difficult, and you're seeing that. Usually when you have fast guys that start in the back, they're up like 15 spots in 10 laps, and here we're almost a third through the race, and some guys have only passed 6 or 7 cars.
Yeah, its passing is going to be at a premium, but I was just kind of noting the lap time, especially last time. Oh boy!
Gets back out. It's a caution.
Oh, Cody McLean getting a hard hit, and man, I thought Kynan Jones took a wonderful, spectacular tumble in practice. He almost did it again, but
I thought he was going to go over here.
And just talking about the lanes, and it looked like Kynan thought he was going to have a nose on the 13, and the 66 had a nose on the 73. So it was just again the product of the race. Oh, and McLean just nowhere really to go. I think he thought he could squeeze that gap, but it just closed up too quick. Really can't see much. Oh, boy, still down. Oh.
You could hear him actually back off and like slam on the brakes and just couldn't do it.
It just couldn't do it. Because it's probably your initial gut reactions, your days of thunder, get on the top side, and then by the time he got on the brakes, she was already sealed.
Oh, there was a checkup.
Ooh, checkup. I think
Yeah.
maybe Kynan wanted to stay off the 13, and it was just a classic racing deal. But Kynan staying on all four wheels for the most part. It looked like it hippity hopped a little bit there. And ooh, who's the car ahead of McLean there that got Bracy that got hit into the wall? I don't know if anything happened to him after that contact. So,
Dustin
right
Dewar
now,
stayed out. Everybody else went down their road.
This is a call.
Is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
I will not state my opinion on the call. I will just say simply it is in fact a call.
It is a call indeed, and it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Tarble. Caught me off guard. Tarble and McIntosh taking the opportunities to grab a lap back here, and as much of up in the booth and in the cars and from the grandstands, people do not want to see this be a wreck fest. It is exactly what Jordan Tarble and Ty McIntosh want to see, because if we get a bunch of cautions, they get all those laps back.
So, talking about the strategy that the 32 has taken here by staying out on 20 lap older tires than everyone else behind them, could that potentially bring out more cautions for guys maybe not expecting for the 21 to slow as much in the corner as what these guys can on fresh tires?
That depends on Dustin Dewar. I mean, what happens a lot of time, guys stay out on the old tires, and obviously they're going to drop back, but they move around too much and they're too erratic, and guys are trying to pass them. If Dusty here just drives it clean and holds his line and actually, believe it or not, gets in the way, as long as you're predictable, people should be able to drive around you. And I know being predictable doesn't sound like a good thing, but here it's a good thing. If you can run your line and be predictable, you can be faster and people can know not to run into you. As far as his pace goes, it didn't slow down spectacularly. He was running 31.3s, 31.4s towards the start of this run, and right before this caution came out, I think his slowest time was about a 32 flat. He was in the high 31s. He's about half a second off, so he's going to drop back. But given how hard passing is, I don't think, to make a pace lap long story short, I don't think he's going to be that much of an issue.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. And we've seen Dewar do this before. It surprises, but I'm thinking here on a flatter track, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for this to pay off.
Sure.
But we're about to find out how this will play out as the pace truck is going to get ready to dive down pit road. We're going to go back to green flag racing here on lap 23 of 75 here in the SR Designs Twin 75s. Dewar gets going. He gets a pretty good restart on those old tires. Thought maybe he'd have trouble spinning. Ooh.
Oh no, he got on the loud. Oh, it's a great getaway from him.
That's kind of what he needs to see, but he washes up the racetrack. Johnny Eckert's going to make quick work. And
Caden's house pretty much drifting through the corner into the wall.
Into the wall, and he's going to lose the track position 3 wide down the backstretch. Indelcato moves up into the 3rd position off all that scrambling. Dewar falling back, but I think like you said, he's being predictable. But man, that bottlenecked everyone up in the top 5. And with that hit towards the wall for Caden, you got to wonder if that's going to make his car tighter, if that's going to affect the handling on that 0-0.
Yeah, especially here. It's not a very aero-dependent track, but it's already so difficult to drive. You need every little bit you can, and I'll tell you this, it's definitely not going to make it any easier for him. And he got sideways there. He saw the 32 go up high and kind of come down a little bit. He was trying to drive under him off the corner, but with the cold, fresh tires, he got sideways in the middle of the corner and off the corner on the back stretch. He was probably sawing on the wheel through the whole time.
Oh yeah, he saw the opening, he was ready to feast on it, and right now he's holding his own with Dylan Thomas on his inside in that 5th position. But see if he can get sorted out and see if he can get back in the lead.
He just took a dive under Eckert.
Yeah, Beers, he was good on the long run. He took a dive and
he's gonna slide back in front.
Crossover, slide job.
Slide job.
But Beers looks like he's gonna hold on to that spot.
Eckert!
Caution, wreck in the front.
Oh man, Alex Kenton. Man, oh man. Who's that? Is that the 35?
Matt, check Discord.
Yeah, 35.
That Conrad.
I have a bad feeling what you're about to tell me. Yep, I knew it. Okay.
Ooh, that was interesting. Oh, that was a big one. And oh man, was Gilberto in that wreck again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, and John Lynch, but can Gilberto catch up?
Oh, that was
nowhere
Nico.
to go.
Yeah, there wasn't. They were close, but the contact was definitely netcode. It looks like
there was absolutely no way there was going to be contact there if there was no netcode. That sucks. There's a lot of good race cars taken out.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, and for a lot of these guys too, that I feel like, oh yeah, that definitely brought him back up the racetrack for Jordan. Sorry, Timothy.
Oh my
Conrad.
goodness, who just missed Scott Nicky? Was that Lineman?
We'll have to take a look.
I believe Aaron Lineman just barely missed him.
I think we have to go on board with Scott Nicky.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Where is he?
I'm trying to find out who this. Somebody had a real interesting view of this. I can't find him.
All right, here's Scott Nicky.
All right.
Yeah. Ooh.
He goes for a little bit of a ride here. He spins about 10,000 times.
Was that? I think that was Lineman that did just miss him on the inside.
It wasn't as exciting as I thought, but he kind of approached him and couldn't really tell where he was going to spin and tuck to the inside at the last second.
It didn't look like he was going to the outside wall, but he was able to kind of do the old movie star flip around. And one thing I gotta say about Gilberto, though, I mean, does anyone know Voodoo that can change his bad juju in these races? I feel like in the past probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 weeks, he's been in some incident not of his own doing, and he just really has to get the monkey off his back.
They need to sacrifice a live chicken. Not KFC. They got to sacrifice a live chicken.
On a completely unrelated note, you said Voodoo and Juju, and it reminded me of something from The Office. They're playing like some Western Voodoo Mama Juju.
Oh, yep. Right, yeah.
I was like, why did that pop into my head?
There's been a murder.
There's been a murder. There's been a murder.
You gotta have this Savannah accent.
It's like molasses.
Molasses. Just
dripping out of your mouth.
Oh man, every time there's a caution, I'm gonna say, there's been a murder.
There's been a murder. Vic's gotta do the investigation. He's Voodoo Mama Juju. Ain't that right, Vic?
You declare!
I don't know. I'm so lost on what's going on here.
We're...
Well, I'm always down for a roll in the hay.
We're putting The Office on the stream now. Here we go.
Yep. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, whoop. Double back up here for the restart now. Hopefully there will be no murders, no investigations necessary.
There won't need to be an investigation.
I do declare we're about to restart this race.
I'm not going down for this.
Who wants to try it? I'm not gonna do it, but who wants to try Oscar's accent in that?
It's something like this. I don't really know what he says.
Okay.
It's something like that. I don't know what it is.
The beans, the beans.
That's way the
The greenbacks. All right, Austin Pierce is going to be your leader here on the restart. We'll get the green on lap 31 of 75, and yeah, we'll see how we'll see how the action picks up. Hopefully, it won't be as crazy as whatever the heck we just did under this last caution. And yeah, here we go. Pace truck's down on pit road. Beers is gonna hit the loud pedal. We're back to green flag racing, and a great restart for the 19. He's gonna pull away by a couple car lengths going into one. Johnny Eckert clear in second, and Indelicado now in that third position. He's looking ready. He's gonna be a factor in this potentially. It looks like it almost seems like Nick is learning this track on the fly, and it looks like he's gaining a lot of talent and experience. Are you
Matt.
okay over there? What's going
Matt.
on? There's been a murder.
Matt, your
All
mic.
right, we're gonna crank it up for a little bit.
All right, we are back, and as we were on Bring the Noise, hopefully Matthew can bring some better noise on what was going on there. And see Johnny Eckert hit the wall though about a lap ago, and really rolled the wall there. So he took a pretty good look to the outside wall. No, maybe Matt.
Oh no,
No.
Matt, stop!
No talking, you sound crazy. Austin Pierce still leads the race here, lap 34 of 75. I wonder, do you guys think it was the voodoo that did it? That cursed Matthew? I'm just saying. But Indelicado now in second, so he's got one car to go, and that's chasing down our leader, Austin Pierce. Caden Tufts, after hitting the wall in that last restart, holding on to that fourth spot in the meantime here. But right now, top three cars kind of breaking away, and Zach Roethlisberger now trying to make that pass on the 0-0. Caden Tufts on the inside. Let's see if he can make it stick. Looks like he's got to run. He's holding on to that fourth spot for now, but they're going to be drag racing in the meantime. See if he can get that pass complete, and that's generally the passes are going to be made on that top side where you get that good run off the corner. But here's a few of these guys. Looks like Rawls trying to make a pass on Adam Tepe on the bottom. It looks like he's going to clear him. And see, it can be done. I was just going to say, Rawls showed it to me in living color here on 3Y TV, and a lot of those beautiful paint schemes made by Shift Esports, or for the Shift Esports and S2 racing team, made by Seth Rawls and SR Designs, title sponsor for tonight. And speaking of, Matt, are you normal now?
Hello?
Hello. Oh, he's no longer. The voodoo is gone.
What was going on? What did you guys hear?
It sounded like you were spraying compressed air into your microphone.
I unplugged it, and my iRacing actually crashed, so I don't know if those two are related.
Okay, so now the hopefully the bad voodoo juju is gone for Matthew, and picking up in the action here. Veer's still holding on to that lead. See Johnny Eckert hit the wall, and he's falling back into the 5th position.
Oh wow, yeah, I see that. I do see also Robert Hill worked his way into the top 10, and I see Kian Raleigh somehow is 7th after destroying the nose of that car on lap 1.
Yeah, he's still having a good run despite that damage on the front end. And even Robert Hill, I think he's been stringing these runs together as of late. He's one of those drivers that's getting pretty decently hot here at the right time, racking those top 10s. I believe he got a second place finish last week at Talladega.
He
Looking
did.
to kind of string off that momentum here.
I want to say he was up to 8th in points last I checked, which is a really, really impressive feat there.
Yeah, and the way it was going, it seemed like wasn't going to be the case, but certainly good runs going on right now for the old Canuck of Robert Hill. That's what they call him, right? Canucks? Canadian?
Yeah.
I think so. I would have loved to be here for Talladega. It was a Canadian battle for the finish.
Yeah, it was almost a total Canadian takeover last week at Talladega, and you know, kind of crazy. Ooh, speaking of a takeover, Cooper Johnson passes Johnny Eckert to get into the top 5. So definitely that hit to the wall has affected the handling of that 12 car. But I suppose once you get on 3 wheels, that's when you definitely know you hit the wall hardest.
Okay, so he knocked the fence down.
Yeah, he knocked it down. He was doing skateboarder grinding tricks on the wall, and I can't remember. Is that called like an ollie? I don't know skateboarder tricks.
Off the
I
wall?
don't know, but it just sounds like he junked it.
Yeah. What do you do when you grind the wall? Is it just like
Isn't that-
called a grind.
It's just called
It's called a
grind,
grind.
Yeah. Unless you do it like with the board upside down, then I think that's called a dark slide.
Ooh, I like that.
I could probably do that.
You know, if you guys ever seen me in person or even seen my coordination, knowing skateboarding is not a thing. Oh, caution!
Caution! Don't know what it's for.
I can't tell. I see Dylan
72,
Thomas is on the
72.
road.
Yep, Lineman.
Lineman.
Why is
Good
Dylan
job,
Thomas on
Dutch.
pit road?
He got a meatball flag, and I don't clear meatballs. It's in the rules.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Bracy! What a save by
Can
Bracy!
confirm
Ooh, that was
Vic
a
does not like Italian foods.
He is not a fan of
Oh.
Italian food.
Not a fan of Italian.
Don't take him
food
to
at
the
all.
Olive Garden.
No.
Also, don't take any Italian food people to the Olive Garden.
Yeah, that's valid.
Oh, wow, he got in there hot.
Got in there too much beans on the corner entry there, and I want to see Bracy save. That was a nice drive by Bracy, getting tapped in the rear end. Didn't look like he got too unstable there.
Bracy looks like he's been tapped
Tokyo
in the
drip.
rear a couple times.
Oh, he did hit the wall. Oh, he got banged into the outside wall.
Anyway, so.
Hey, Bradley,
guys
how
coming
you
down
doing?
the road.
What? Oh, it looks like we have 2 cars staying out on the racetrack. Adam
Oh my gosh, it's
Peeler
Dustin Dewar again.
and Dustin Dewar again, but he doesn't have that old of tires this go round. And I think he's gonna have fresher tires than Peeler. I think he pitted on the first caution. So you have a couple guys playing the mixed strategy game here, but one thing to note that could be beneficial for Peeler and Dewar in the long run. If we run, say, another 20 laps, 15, 20 laps, these guys right here coming off pit road, they use their stuff up. You see extended stays for the 12 and 00 who got in the wall earlier, getting some damage fixed, but everyone behind these two, this is going to be kind of the long con strategy here for the 13 and 32.
Vincent?
They'll still have a set of. Oh, did Vincent stay out?
Vincent did not take tires. He
Yeah,
came into his
6.53
box.
seconds.
He came into his box, but he did not take tires.
So just fuel only for the 83. So this is the top 3. We'll have a set of tires laying in the pits yet, so that could be beneficial if there is, you know, a little bit of a run here. I think if we see a lot of cautions, it's going to be tough for them to gain that advantage, but you know, gain that track position back. But this could be an interesting strategy move for the top 3, and this seems a little bit more intriguing than what Dewar. What it looked like Dewar was doing, you know, the first caution. This could potentially pay off for the 13, 32, and 83.
And you know, I think I'm more of a fan of Isabella's version, coming down and taking that fuel. When Ooh, it's close based on when Dustin Dewar I think he's okay actually. He came down pit road. It looks like lap 27. If he topped off on fuel there, he's actually going to be good to go to the end. So I take that back. The top three are all on the same page. They are all good to go on fuel. And yeah,
will the 13 still be good to go? Because I think or he pit under that last caution.
let's see.
All right,
He
Hit
came
under the
down.
last caution.
Oh, he did. Okay, so that yep. Never mind. So the top three all on, well, the top two in the same position as the field. We definitely know Vincent for sure. 1,000% should make it.
I think Peeler's going to be about 5 or 6 to the, or I know at least Dustin Dewar's 5 or 6 to the good. I'm going to assume Adam Peeler's fine. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. I guess we'll find out. Ideally for them, in my mind, we run 10, 15 laps and get a caution. And this caution, they probably could have had this caution come out a little bit sooner for them, because they need enough time for the rest of the field's tire to wear, and they need enough time for their fresh tires they're going to come down and take to go to work and actually pass some cars, and it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, we'll see if they can even keep kind of that track position, but once they go down pit road, it'll kind of validate that point. Peeler, oh, he gets loose. I think Dewar's going to take the advantage after the spinning of the tires of the 13, so Dewar now taking the lead going into turns 1 and 2. Dewar choosing that way high line. Peeler looking on the inside, nothing doing. And now Austin Beers. Oh, I think Dewar's coming into pit road.
I think that might be a penalty for Dewar. I don't think he was the control car then. I think that was a very early launch. I think he's coming down to serve a black flag. Yeah, it's a drive-through for him.
Drive-through.
It might be speeding too.
Yeah, speeding.
I think that's going to be speeding too. Oh, that's speeding.
Yeah, he came in awfully hot. So it seemed like a close call there between the 13 and 32, because I couldn't tell who launched first, but definitely the 13 spun his tires. But it's kind of one of those hard games to play once you're on that front row.
I think I saw tire smoke in 1 and 2. Robert Hill just drifted his way into 1 and 2 about half a lap ago. He saved it. Everybody's dotting their I's and crossing their T's here as we get down to the closing stages of it.
Yeah, minding their P's and Q's for now. And caution.
No, there goes that.
Spin.
Looks like the 71.
Adam Tepe spins around. That might have been even after the caution came out. He got a hard hit to the rear end. You see a lot of damage.
That's exactly what it was. That was strange.
Was that
Scott Nicky?
Or someone hit? Oh. Ooh, and Carpenter hits the outside wall after trying to kind of avoid the 96 of Adam Tepe.
I'm not really sure what this was from Scott Nicky. He kind of checked up about he was riding real close behind Tepe, and he kind of checked up 2/3 down the back stretch and got off of him, then drove into the corner a lot deeper and turned him anyways.
Yeah, it was, and he...
I don't really know.
It wasn't net code, no. Ooh, God, that hit was hard. The 71 on the outside wall.
It's an interesting one. I don't really have a good explanation for it.
Yeah, it was definitely different looking, but your top two now, the Beers Motorsports Toyotas, leading this field of Austin Beers and Cooper Johnson, and you know, as of right now, it looks like that familiarity. Oh man, it's hard for me to spit out. Familiarity. For some reason, that just doesn't sound right. For Austin Beers with this racetrack is really paying off for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and he's really come to life in the he's been fast all race long, but he's come to life in the closing stages of this one. And he's up at the lead, right when it matters most. And excuse my lack of attention span. Colts are 3rd and 38 right now.
Wow.
Excuse me?
Like that. It's like the third down. It's a third down conversion. It was like 3rd and 38. I'm not really sure.
They made it?
No, they did not.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could tell you they did, but it was like a check down for 8 yards.
You know, I was gonna have that game on.
It's on my phone right now.
I was gonna have it on my side TV, but you know, both those teams are playing so bad that I think you know, hey, there's been some good racing here. You know, glad you guys who tuned in. tune in here to 3 Wide TV, or if you have a two TV setup like Matthew has here, you can do it 2 ways. You can have the race on your TV, the game on your phone, or vice versa.
I think you should just have the race on your TV twice the way this game is going. It's been like every Broncos primetime game we've had this season. The score is 6-3. It's been field goals. Apparently, it has been absolutely anemic.
I bet you by the time we do post-race interviews after half 2, it might be the same score.
I don't know. They could kick another field goal.
I mean, the last I watched, it was 3-0. So there's been a total of 6 points since the drop of the green flag here. So there's that. Since qualifying, I should say, is when I flipped it over.
I'm sure some of our viewers play fantasy football. I have the Broncos defense on my bench. I maybe should have started them. I looked down at my phone at one point earlier in the race, and I saw like a slow motion shot of the defense running down the field celebrating. I'm going to be really upset if they. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 4 sacks. Okay. Yep, I missed out.
See, Matthew, you got to know the matchups. The Colts offensive line, while good on paper, have been playing poor all year long.
Yes.
So that would have been a good matchup change. Plus, Broncos defense generally, I think until Russell Wilson kind of figures.
I need to defend myself.
Look, guys.
I need to defend myself.
Guys, we gotta talk about the race here, but. If you think tonight's game is not going to be going bad, don't worry. You got next week's game to look forward to. The Commanders and the Bears.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. I do need to defend myself. I started the Vikings defense because they're not a great defense, but they're playing the Bears. So I think that's fair. All right.
That's fair. That's a tough call. And there you go, talk about the Bears twice there. But, yeah, Thursday night, Al Michaels got to love those matchups. He's changed to Amazon Prime, but the best internet live action is right here in OSCA as Austin Beers on top, our race leader Cooper Johnson on the bottom, and he's been in trouble with the restarts before. We see him lagging back a little bit. He just seen Dustin Dewar get that drive-through penalty. Green flag is out, and definitely Beers got the advantage there. Indelcano looks on the inside.
3 wide.
Oh,
he really tried on it. He gets loose.
Oh, man. See if Cooper can get that drive off the corner exit. Hold on to that second spot. Kean right on the back bumper of Indelicado and hangs on to the 3rd spot.
Yeah, well, I'm noticing every time we have these guys on fresh tires, these things do not have grip. They do not like to stick to the track as soon as we take off here. And you'll see them put the power down in the middle and it just kicks out sideways and there's nothing they can do about it. It's real sketchy.
Yeah, so far they've done a pretty good job here tonight, hanging on. But as we click these laps off, the patience to kind of let the car correct itself or trying to drift through that slide, and as Carlos says, there could be a lot of spilt beans happening before the end of this night.
Like the chili.
Oh, don't do it. I didn't mean it. I take it all back.
It's okay. I don't think he's going to play. Oh, never mind. There it is.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Hoping we can run this last 20 laps, but I'm probably going to jinx it, so I probably already ruined it. We're going to have a caution now for sure. But then maybe I reverse jinx it by saying we're going to have a caution.
Ooh, I like your strategy here. Then we're on board with the Me Fine Foundation Ford of Zach Evans.
He's been having a pretty good day. Started 10th, quietly running about 7th or 8th.
Battling for that 6th spot with Seth Rawls, having a nice run, and right now, as you see him come off that corner there, even though he had to let up a little bit to kind of drift up that on corner exit, see his hands are a lot smoother than they were the last time we viewed him.
Yeah, and aside from obviously, just taking care of your car and not risking an accident, that's tire saving too, because the more you have to saw on that wheel and pedal it coming off the corner, you're making those tires do things they don't want to do. So smooth is the name of the game. You don't run the risk of wrecking yourself, and you do take care of your stuff a lot better. Might benefit him here in a little bit.
Yeah, generally we see him getting a little bit more wheel action coming out of turn 2. We'll see if he fights it. We've seen Rawls get sideways last lap. Out of turn 2. Looks like
a little bit there.
I think looks like it was pushing up a little bit more than he wanted to. He's battling Dallas Myhand, and again, just got to say, glad to have Dallas back out on the racetrack. And man, didn't have to kick any rust off. He's currently in the top 10. battling for that 7th spot with Zach Evans.
Ooh,
right
he hit
now.
the wall.
So good run
Evans
for that 26.
Yeah, Evans grabbed the wall a little bit there. Something interesting happens every time we tune into his camera. I think we pressure him.
Yeah, I think he likes looking at himself. You know, he thinks he's pretty, and you know. It
Oh,
happens.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's. I think
He's in
an
the
alright
top
looking
10. Give
fellow
the man
myself.
some slack.
Well, no,
He's doing a
having
good
great
job.
run.
He's doing a great job. He's
He
having
did a
good
great
run,
job last
absolutely.
night as well. Didn't get the top 10 he wanted, but he ran a nice, consistently clean race. Didn't get wrecked. Wasn't about to any issues. Was there at the finish, and I'm sure if there was a last minute caution, probably could have gotten some more spots.
You know, and I think for Zach Evans, that's generally what he's looking for. It's been a rough go of it in about any league he's been in, and again, almost like Gilberto, that not a lot of it is doing. So definitely just finishing races. That's kind of the start of it. Just getting that confidence back that you can make it the full distance. But back out front, Austin Beers currently holding on to the top spot. And in second place, Cooper Johnson, same place he finished the second half at Talladega behind a teammate in that race, of Vincent Isabella. He's going to try to do one better before in the next 15 laps. And again, you know, we mentioned it before, but I just still got to say, Kean, I'm sure he got a little bit of that damage fixed throughout the night, but definitely doesn't look like that car's 100%. But holding on to that 4th spot, up 21 positions, probably more than that after that initial start when he made that contact. So a good rebound for Kean, and the guy he's chasing at points is 1 spot ahead of him, but I'm sure right now he'll take this top 5 run that it's looking to shape up to be so far.
And you know, on the opposite end of that spectrum, you were wondering how that damage was affecting Johnny Eckert. He currently just got passed for the 17th position. He is mired all the way back in 18th, showing no signs of improvement. He is fading through the field here, not running fast lap times at all. That it doesn't look bad visually, but that car is, for lack of better words, it's junk.
Yeah, even a guy who didn't hit the wall as hard of Caden Tufts, you know, he was in the top 3, top 5 for most of the night. He's currently just outside of it in the 8th position, but definitely does not have as strong of a car as he had earlier in the night.
And 8th isn't a bad run, but like he was going for the lead earlier, and he can't do anything. He's stuck in 8th. He can't go anywhere with that. It's a huge fall from battling for the lead, the pace difference there. So, and it makes me wonder. You see Kean up there. Actually looks like Zach Roethlisberger's working on, but Kean had all that damage on the nose. Doesn't seem to be affecting him quite as much. I guess maybe slapping the wall with that right side. That right side always seems to have been hypersensitive on these Xfinity cars, and even though I mentioned earlier it's obviously not an aero-dependent track, that's not science, but it still seems to pretty much ruin race cars here.
Yeah, and I feel like, again, I've said this probably 1,000 times here on 3Y TV, but for some reason it seems like in real life it doesn't seem. Oh boy, Rawls gets out of shape out of turn 2, able to hang on to it. But yeah, these in real life, these Xfinity cars seem like they can take a lot of punishment, you know, generally speaking. But in the sim here, it seems like a lot more sensitive. Almost, I would compare it to the old Gen 6 cars. And ooh, we have some connection issues for Cooper Johnson in second place. Looks like it's all figured out. But I guess the other issue he has is that 4 car is right on his heels.
Yep, I was just about to say, I was looking at Cooper up on the back of Austin Beers. I was thinking maybe Cooper Johnson's going to take it to him, but I'm noticing the lap times, Nick and Delicado, about 1/10.5 and 2/10 quicker than our top 2 respectively last time around. This time I think it's going to be a little bit more even. He seems to have stalled out there, but as it stands right now with about 9 laps to go, it is a 3-horse race for the lead, and Zach Roethlisberger and Kean Raleigh are definitely not far behind. They are about a car length apart, all the top 4.
Yeah, Roethlisberger last lap, he was the fastest car out of the top 5, but still a lot of cars to pass to get up to the front. He's sitting back in that 4th position in the meantime.
And this is when the passing becomes really difficult, when the tires are old, and the top 4 guys currently are probably all the quickest guys in the field right now. They've all risen to the top here. And I don't want to see them run just single. I want to see some action. I want to see some guys get their elbows up, but it's hard. It's a lot of patience. It's 8 long laps of just hoping the guy in front of you makes a slight mistake, and when you take advantage of it, you better make it count because the opportunities are hard to come by.
And generally thinking, the kind of the way this order is, it's still, 7 laps to go now. Still a lot to play out. But generally thinking, you got to wonder. I think as far as Roethlisberger, obviously not running for points, just kind of being the fill-in driver this week for that 18 car. Kind of going through a shuffle of drivers. But a lot of these guys running for points, Beers, Johnson, Indelicato, and Kean, that they're just looking to... they might be okay with the top 5 here in half number 1, so they might not take too many chances unless the door opens. Oh boy, Rawls in the 6th position. I think he about knocked down the wall.
That was a lick. That was he hit the wall so hard the back end kicked out. That is a huge hit. That's essentially destroyed on his part. Fortunately for him, he doesn't have to run it out for 30 laps. He might lose a spot, maybe just a spot, because the gap back to 8th is significant, but. Yeah, there's never a good time to hit the wall, but I guess with only a few laps left, he might be okay.
Yeah, he can probably slow the bleeding here as he's going to try to hold off Caden Tufts here in the next 5 laps to go in this race. And right now, Beer is holding on to that top spot.
Cooper Johnson's getting close. He got a little bit closer last time.
Yeah, he ran pretty similar lap times last time by, but yeah, he's definitely knocking on the door. And, being teammates, I don't know if we'll see anything crazy, but, that opportunity could be there now as they come to the line with 4 laps to go.
I'm seeing Austin Beers, when they get back to the gas, I'm seeing Beers a little bit more patient, able to drive it towards the wall like he wants it to, and Cooper Johnson maybe not as much, although that time it seems like Cooper Johnson beats him in 1 and 2, but Beers is just so much more stable and planted off of 4, and that's where he makes it all back up. Right now, Cooper Johnson getting as close as he's been in the last 10 laps, just a quarter car length off the back end of the 19 car.
Yeah, this could open the door. You want to make this move at the right time if you're Cooper, if you think you have a shot to make that pass for the lead. We got 3 laps to go, but he's got to almost wait for a perfect, maybe couple corners because Indelicato is not too far behind them. That if they race side by side, he could potentially either lose a spot, but of course he can also gain a spot and end up in victory lane. As we come to the line here, coming out of turn number 4, there will be 2 laps to go.
He got a decent corner there. He's able to stick even with Beers. Caution!
Oh boy! And
Dylan Thomas is involved.
And Lineman. Oh man! And that changes everything.
Oh,
drifts off the corner for Lineman. Thomas. Oh boy. There's that peeler that goes into the grass, and Scott Nicky kind of followed. He kind of took the road course there to dodge the wreck. And that apron, that's always a tough spot to go. You see guys in real life make that work, but you're going to drift off a lot on a corner exit, and that certainly looked like the case for Lineman there.
And that absolutely changes everything. It was looking like maybe, I don't know if Cooper was going to be able to get to the inside of his teammate there without the bumper to him. And the bumper to your teammate is always kind of hollowed grounds, especially here in the regular season, and they're both fighting for that. I think they're both pretty, I don't know, is Austin Beers playoff eligible? He missed a few races. Did he get waivers, Vic?
No waivers, so.
Oh.
Because of his suspension, he's not.
Okay.
Oh. So maybe Cooper Johnson won't be as forgiving.
True. Because that could definitely help Cooper Johnson in the long run. But then you have Austin Beers here, who's just now, as stated, not playoff eligible. So he's just going out there. He's trying to get wins, trying to get back in victory lane once again. He kind of broke that schneid earlier this season, so he's looking to make this more of a regular habit.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see him win yet. He waited for me to drop out of the booth for a couple weeks and said, "Okay, now I'm going to win."
Yeah, he's just maybe putting on a show for you, but I think the thing playing in the favor for Austin Beers is he's been getting incredible restarts.
Yep.
But a little bit older tires now. If they get any wheel spin, Cooper could take advantage. But we've seen that restart earlier between the 13 and 32, where Adam Peeler got that wheel spin, and if you time it wrong, you can get the black flag. So Cooper's got to kind of mind that as well. So, especially for that 91 of Cooper Johnson, there's a lot weighing on the mind of in that 91 car.
And I'll say, for that matter, you mentioned Austin Beers getting these good jumps on the restarts. That caution helped him. And as strange as that might sound, it bunches everybody back up together. It gives him the opportunity to get a huge jump and put a couple car lengths distance between him and Cooper. And it takes time to make up that gap. And by the time Cooper does make that gap up, if he does, it'll already be too late. And it hurts guys like the 11 and the 25 there, Kean and Seth. Robert Hill and Caden Tuff started to come to life towards the end of that run there. Now they are going to be on top of them. That cushion for those wounded race cars is gone. So outside of our two leaders here, its implications ripples throughout the field here. And I feel like I say sparks fly a lot when I do commentary for this league. But yes, I am afraid we might see some sparks fly here.
Yeah, it could be interesting. And we've seen Roethlisberger again, like you said, come to life. And even for Cooper, he's not only got to try to take that shot for the lead, but if he doesn't get that good restart, we've seen guys start in that fourth position, able to hang on the quarter panel of the second place car. So if he doesn't get a good launch here on the restart, he could fall back a couple spots. So this is going to be interesting. And I'm going to be curious too, that 25, we've seen him knock down the wall just a few laps ago, and it would have been very beneficial for him to see that see this race kind of play out the way it was looking. It looked like he was just going to cruise that sixth place run, but now the field's bunched up. So
here we go.
Those sparks could definitely fly. Yeah, here we go indeed. As the pace truck gets ready to dive down pit road, wait for Beers to get to that Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Looks like another good start for that 19. Looks like Cooper will clear, and it was a good start for the 19, but not as good as we've seen him do earlier tonight. There's
Cooper
still
Johnson,
definitely a shot.
Yeah, Cooper Johnson is about as close as he was before. Does not get off of turn 2 very well, though. That gap's going to open up there. That might be all Austin Beers needs, but still a few more corners here for Johnson to reel it back in.
Ooh, it looks like Beers washed up a little higher than he wanted to. See if he can get that corner exit.
He does.
Yep, and he does maintain that gap as we got one lap to go. Here is the SR Design Twin Set. Oh boy, big wreck
on the front stretch. They're still racing.
Could this play a factor? Oh, Isabella, last week's winner involved. I believe Gilberto's involved in that as well. Looks like it will clear by the time these guys get back down on the front stretch, going through 3 and 4. One last shot for Cooper Johnson. Doesn't look like he'll have enough coming out of turn 4. It's the short track kid. He's run modifieds here. Now he's got a sim racing victory here at New Hampshire. Ooh, and they're fanning out all over the place. So it's Beers, Johnson, Indelicato. Seth Rawls got 4th. How about that? 5th place for Zach Roethlisberger. Kean Rowley in the 6th spot. 7th spot, Robert Hill. Ooh, there you see the wreck. And oh man, just a parking lot. And
I don't even.
Just to note, how in the heck, I'm looking at the top 10, 9th spot, Johnny Eckert. Where did he come from?
What? I was thinking as we were coming to that restart, I was thinking
my pick! 4th!
Yeah, I was thinking about picks right there. I was like, oh, I am so screwed because Johnny was 20th, and I'm like, Cooper's starting up here, Rawls is up here. Oh, I'm done for. No, Johnny Eckert pulled through for me a little bit.
Oh, Carlos, I got 2nd.
You got? Oh, yeah, I know. But hey, I didn't get last.
Hey, that's fair. But definitely the guy who did not finish last. It's the guy in victory lane. It's the short track kid. It's Austin Beers. Austin, one hell of a run. It looks like tonight's been a good night for you so far here.
So far, I mean, I've never ran a full-bodied car. I've only run modifieds on this track, and I'm 2 for 2 now, so I'm pretty happy.
So is there, I mean, obviously, sim to real world kind of stuff going on here, but is there a big difference on as far as how these cars drive, the modifieds versus a full-bodied stock car?
Yeah. In the modifieds, we run the top usually, and there's a big draft, and Also, a lot better quarter speed. So these you really have to roll the center and get a good drive off. But the modifieds you just hammer down in the middle of the corner and just have a lot more roll speed.
Yeah, and it looks like you got your teammate. I believe this is the second race in the row for Beers Motorsports with a 1-2 finish. So looks like your team here is carrying on a little bit of momentum as well.
Yeah, it just took some of us to get suspended to get our act together, I guess. But no, it's going a lot better. I feel like we're picking it up here in the later half of this year, and hopefully I can make the playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, but as you know, finally though, I do have to say, Matthew was waiting for you to get back in victory lane. When you finally broke the schneid, he was not in attendance. So Matthew, I mean, you have anything to say to Beers for finally seeing him get that victory?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you pick me?
I wasn't prepared for that. I was like, oh wow, he's put me. Thanks, Austin.
You know what? No one jinxed you with the pick, so you might be a hot commodity here in half number 2. But you got to start back in that 12th position. What's your strategy here in half number 2?
Pick them off one by one and just keep the car clean. It's really tough to pass, so you got to take your time here. And as you can see, Cooper probably could have got me. He had better tires at the end, but he just couldn't pass because it's like a one-lane racetrack, and it's just tough to get to the inside. And then when you're there, the guy on the outside could just pinch you down. So you just got to take your time and hopefully be there at the end.
Yeah, we'll see if that will pay off for you here in half number 2. But before we let you get ready for half number 2, any shout-outs you want to give?
Beers Motorsports, 64-15 Racing, Cooper for running me clean. That was really fun. You guys for doing the broadcast, and Vic for putting the league on.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. I'm liking how you're rattling these off. The short track kid is back. Go get him in half number 2.
Thanks.
That's Austin Beers, winner of half number 1. And there you look at the standings. And I do believe that with the invert now, it will be
Easter Blue.
David, Easter Blue, old Easter Blue. Peter Cottontail, he'll be hopping down the bunny trail, and he'll be starting on the pole. And kind of as we said, Talladega was looking to be a week for him to kind of turn things around, but a chance to start up front here definitely could finally break his kind of bad luck runs that he's been having here. And he got some TV time last week. We'll get some TV time this week here as well.
If we've got time, can we go back to that last restart, Carlos, by chance, and look at Eckert and Westergreen? David
unfortunately, I don't have access to that anymore.
It's fine. I just gotta. Johnny Eckert and David Westergreen restarted 21st and 22nd.
Wow.
And they ended up 9th and 12th. I just watched. They were running below the yellow line, just blowing through the field on the fresh tires. He messaged me. He was like, "How'd you guys like that?" And I don't have the heart to tell him. I think we missed it on the broadcast, but
no, I'll tell him we missed it. I told him I didn't want to look at you.
What's up?
Hey, picks.
Picks.
Oh, picks. Yeah,
Me
here
first.
we go.
Eckert, you better redeem yourself. I'm going with you again.
Ooh. I'm second, right?
Yep.
It's my hand's time to shine.
All right.
All right. Well, I think with a clean nose on his car, he's going to look to have some speed here in half number 2. I'm going with the number 11 of Kean Raleigh.
Oh, that is a strong one, huh? Running up there with all that damage on the nose.
Yeah, I'm liking this. He's got a clean car. I'm gonna enjoy this. So the front row this go around will be David Westergreen and Chris Gutierrez, and Dallas Myhand will have that good starting position, but he'll be right alongside Johnny Eckert in that 4th position. Then Caden Tufts and Zach Roethlisberger in 5th and 6th. 7th Indelicato, or Kean Raleigh, and then Indelicato in the 8th spot. And now they're kind of jumbled up, so I think Seth Rawls, and then Seth Rawls and Cooper Johnson will round out your top 10 or starting positions here in half number 2. And it doesn't seem that far back for Austin Beers to be in that 12th spot, but as he was saying, and as we kind of alluded to all night, passing at a premium So this invert could definitely pay a huge factor for how heat number 2 plays off here.
You know, the top 12 is a pretty sizable invert, but there are absolutely no slouches here. I know Gutierrez was solid towards the end, but we saw David Westergreen running as high as 4th or 5th last race. Dallas was pretty decent the whole time. Eckert and Tubbs were racing each other for the lead at one point. Those guys are all in the top 5, and they all just about spent time in the top 5 last race. So it's not going to be like the usual, you know, a big invert. The guys who start at the back of the invert who just finished top 3 are going to blow through the field. No. I don't really think Indelicato, Johnson, or Beers are going to move up that quickly because there are a lot of fast race cars in front of them that they've got to get through.
Yeah, generally a lot of these guys, the names that we've seen up towards the front, Johnny Eckert, I think, you know, that is going to be a good pick. You know, running in the top 3 and was doing really well, leading a lot of the first half, but knocking down that wall. So he'll have a clean car here as well, and track position, I think, for the 9, 16, and 26, who's had good runs last half. Yeah, this is a whole new ball game, and I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. Should be a fun one, as we are just a couple corners away to lead off the SR Design 75. I was thinking Daytona here. The twin 75s, half number 2. And if you're looking for an example of an SR Design vehicle, right there, Dallas Mahan in that 3rd spot. Beautiful looking race car. Green flag is out. Westergreen leads him to the green. He gets a great jump off the initial start. We don't see that too often, but a good start for the 9. Dallas Mahan looks in the inside of Gutierrez going through turns 1 and 2. Looks like they'll clear him.
Oh,
maybe not quite.
Oh, we got spinners. Seth Rawls, Nick Indelicato, Roethlisberger.
Oh man,
I don't think there was damage. I think they might have all just spun.
And a little damage to the rear end of the 4 car, but not. It doesn't look significant. We've seen worse. Don't tell me Gilberto got that.
Nick Indelicato got air. Car almost flipped over. The left side of the.
He flipped?
He almost did. The left side of the car flipped over. He got a lot closer to flipping than you would ever think he would have. Yeah, I saw Kean get loose, and then I saw the 18 get looser.
Oh man!
The 18 didn't get looser.
Or did Kean turn him?
No.
It's possible.
Kean was Kean looked like he was all on his own, and then Roethlisberger on the top side. Both those cars got loose, I think simultaneously, almost a synchronized.
No, the 18 checked up.
Oh yeah, it's just a chain reaction there.
Because Kean got loose and bobbled and almost took out the 18. I think Roethlisberger reacted to that and checked up for him, and Indelicato didn't see it coming.
Oh, look at Seth Rawls again. He had nowhere to go. Oh, we see him. Oh, he almost drifted up the track, gets loose.
Those are pretty. I mean, they're running into each other, but they're all relatively going the same speed. I really don't think those cars are going to be affected by the damage at all. It's all very minor impacts.
Yeah, and definitely from some of the damage and some of the results we've seen from the cars in half number 1, it definitely looks like they can definitely rebound to get at least a solid top 10 run. So I don't think any of those cars can count themselves out by any means. That's my hand coming down pit road. Is he doing the fake?
I don't know, but I know 2 cars that did come down pit road, obviously Indelicato and Roethlisberger. I saw them pull into their box. They're not taking tires here. They're saving that set. All they appear to be doing is fixing damage.
Yeah, you do have those 2 sets, but we've seen how important it was to save that set for the very end, and for Westergreen to start here on the pole, and Johnny Eckert, who's sitting there in the 3rd position, how that paid off for them to get all the way back from the 21st, 22nd positions you said they restarted in, and so that's where again even the two sets that you'll have here in half number 2, you can't just use the set all willy-nilly. Got to still pay mind to that. So a lot of these guys are probably going to save that. I would say once you get closer to, I suppose once that window opens when you could finish the race on a tank of fuel. So once we get close to lap 25 or 20 to 25, I think then you'll start maybe seeing guys taking that first set. but I think we're going green here in just
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Pace truck is off. We're doubled back up, ready to go again. Westergreen picking the outside.
And green flag is out. Great jump once again from the 9 of Westergreen. And that OSCA Chevrolet.
Oh, Raleigh's spinning!
Oh, no, Raleigh's spinning,
Oh,
backs
that-
into the wall.
That
Oh,
might
boy.
be big. The field's stacking up.
Oh, and he gets hit terrible late. And that was a hard lick to the front end, so he's going to have, ooh, does he have, oh, he's going to the pits.
Oh, it's a net code.
That's
It's a
gonna be a
big-time
penalty.
net code crash.
So the initial cause might be,
It's definitely net code. You'll see it. He bounces the left rear off of the right
Oh.
front of Gutierrez.
oh man, and a hard, that lick he would have been fine, but then, oh, late.
Did everything he
Hard
could have. Just
contact.
you'll see it right here. He doesn't really get all that close.
It almost looks like Caden would, oh boy,
Yeah.
bad net code. It seems like we've seen a little bit of that here tonight, some wild net code, and so unfortunately for Kean, hey, this could open the door out for your the broadcast championship.
Did you pick Kian? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And oh man, he heads right for him, and oh, last second hits the binders, and that's definitely gonna hurt Kean in the point standings, especially now that
go check out what Vincent Isabella did to avoid this. He took. Oh, Kian's already disconnected. Kian's done.
Oh, Kean is done.
He's not even gonna try.
Oh, he just wants the
And
broadcast.
I
championship
quote
going
him,
up.
I'm going to bed.
That's
Well,
that's
you know
exactly
what?
I'd say.
Yeah, don't blame him.
Vincent Isabella took the scenic route to avoid that one. It wasn't really taking any risks. He didn't stay on the track. He actually cut like a whole 10 car widths down into the grass and just bypassed the entire corner. Didn't even bother trying to weave through it.
Wow. Well, I don't know if we can get a replay on that or not, but it'd be interesting to see. But now, the South Shore Racing Chevrolets in the top 2 spots. Johnny Eckert picking them off one by one, up 2 spots. And you know, I don't know. As you know, we're in our second caution. We're only on lap 8 right now as they cross the line, and I don't know if we're seeing you know, how the first half played out. I think relatively decent. And now, could this be kind of the chaotic half, especially with these guys knowing that, again, that passing's at a premium? But, man,
Yes.
and I'm looking, how did Beers get up to 4th?
Beers.
Oh, I suppose that wreck, yeah.
Yeah, he
Couple
drove
of
around the bottom of it. He was down at the yellow line. But speak to your point, I don't know. We had that first incident, and then that is just, we've seen guys get that loose, like Kian got all race long in the first half, and this most recent incident, you just chalk it up to netcode. It wasn't going to happen if it weren't for the netcode. So I think it's yet to be seen. A couple of unfortunate events that started out, but I do think they still have the capacity to go green here. Of course, if they wad it up again, then I'm going to start to worry.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm just as they're going green here, Westergreen on the inside line. Green flag is out. Looks like not as good of a launch. Johnny Eckert hanging side by side with him for a little bit. Looks like
Wow.
they'll clear each other going into turns 1. Actually, Johnny's hanging on that outside. He might get a run. Of course.
Oh, he's going to have a big run here. He can't take it, though.
Oh, he can't take it. Westergreen blocks it off, so he's going to be side by side with my hand. But I'm going to say, you know, obviously my pick for the points is out, but I'm going to go with just an emotional.
Westergreen is spinning from the lead!
Oh, no, and he turns around.
Oh, and he gets hit in the rear
Oh,
end by the
Dewar.
32 of Dewar.
Oh, Scott Nicky, and don't tell me. Oh, no, I think, was it
You'll-
Conrad? And McIntosh might have stopped in time. I don't think he got any damage. He had to come to a complete stop.
Westergreen has constantly been knocked around in league racing, and he finally had the lead of this one. It looked, if you look at it closely, I don't think they actually touched. I really don't want to say netcode again. They got very close, but I, on my screen, don't actually see any physical contact.
And it looked like just hard racing for that top spot as Westergreen. I don't know
From
if
this angle-
that he initially gets loose by what might say his net code, and then they made contact. It was weird. Something weird happened to that car. I don't know. Maybe he got loose off the corner. I don't know.
Here. Here you'll get an isolated view. It's close. It's very close, but never mind. Okay. It's very close, but if you can get like this might show you. It's very close. I don't believe they ever actually touched. Now, they might have.
I don't.
It's close, but at least what I have here, I don't think they touched.
I think they might have barely touched. But it looked like the car was reacting to a touch before they touched, if that makes any sense.
Oh, the me-find machine.
Oh, no. What happened there? Oh, that was...
Yeah, he dodged it.
He did dodge it. I'm sorry. I was looking at the front screens.
I want to see if anybody drove through the wreck. That was a pretty hairy one.
Zach Evans. Oh my goodness. And he gets it through. Oh boy.
What a job.
And
oh, hang on. Westergreen's asking for an interview. He's in the infield care center.
Infield care center here. All right, we'll get his perspective, and we'll get to see. He might be able to settle this once and for all. And man, oh man, David, you can't catch a break. It seems like, buddy. But what was your view of the incident there?
You know what? I had a lot of fun in the first half running with Johnny. We came through the field there on the last restart, and it was really fun. And that was the most fun I had today. So, it's cool to lead there for a little bit. But, I think this is going to be my last race in this series. I'm not having any fun at all. And, except for when, me and Johnny take tires at the end there and run the apron and make up a bunch of spots. That was cool, but it was, fortunate because that wasn't the right strategy call. We got lucky. But, hopefully Johnny can go out here and win one for South Shore Racing. He and Adam are, our last our chances here, and they're both in the top 10. So hopefully they, stay there. But, been a frustrating one for sure. And I think I'm done running this series for now. I'll be at Strictly Stock with you, Goody. But I'm done with this.
Yeah, I mean it's been a frustrating season for sure, and sometimes I think taking that break, unwinding, and maybe letting some of the chaos play out there without you, it might definitely help, especially, we're out here racing, and this is all for fun, of course, and when you're not having fun, obviously stepping away sometimes could be the best call.
Somebody drives it in 2 cars too deep on you and shoves you up the track or spins you out, which happened to me in both races. You had to run around the cars around you, and nobody has any of that respect in here, so I must have gotten doored like 5 times in that last race. So, in that first race. So it's just miserable right now, and I know Vic's working hard trying to make it better, and he's made some good changes. But this is it's just so fucking miserable for me right now, man.
Yeah, I get it. We do get back going to green flag racing. Johnny Eckert on the top side, going green here on lap 14, gets a good jump, but hopefully we don't see you out here for the last time. We'll be talking to you here on 3Y TV, in these OSCA broadcasts. But before we send you off, any shout-outs you want to give?
If Maddie's not there one week, I can try to jump in the booth maybe. But I'm out of these Xfinity cars. I hate it for OSCA. They sponsored me. Hate it for the Batflip podcast. Go follow those guys and stay tuned for later on, I guess.
All right. Well,
actually, before he goes, I just want you to know, David, I don't blame you for being angry. I just want to publicly say it. I don't blame you for being angry. And I certainly don't blame you for being frustrated at how your season's gone and the incidents and everything. Because trust, I'm just as frustrated as everyone else is.
Yeah, and it's not all on you, man. Like, people got to use their heads, and you've got people in here that just absolutely do not. So, I'll be following, but I won't be racing.
All right, David Westergreen, we'll send you off with that little PSA, but hey, I'm glad me and Carlos will still get to race with you in the Strictly Stock Series.
Of course, yeah, I wouldn't miss that. That one we do have a lot of fun, and you weren't there tonight, so maybe that was why it went bad for poor Carlos.
Yeah, you forgot to mention him in the tweet.
I know, I did.
That was the one who didn't even show up.
I know. I was spacing. Got a top 5 though. Those, hopefully next OSCA season, man, we're looking at changing the car, and I think the car change is going to be really good for the series.
Yeah, and if it's what I think it is, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very interesting. But as we do have an interesting battle, the two guys who knocked down the wall in half number 1, Johnny Eckert and Caden Tubbs, they're battling up front right now for that lead. And Johnny did get into the wall, kiss the wall a little bit, but certainly doesn't have that damage that he had before. But Caden looking on the inside, coming out of turn 4. Johnny to hold on to that spot for now, but going into 1 could be a different story.
Yeah, Caden Tubbs is looking like he's really able to generate the runs off the bottom, and he gets really sideways there. He just kind of drifted all the way through the middle there. Ain't good for the right rear tire, but Caden Tubbs, if you know Caden Tubbs at this point, he doesn't really care. He's going to drive it hard anyways and be fast anyways.
Yeah, and he's able to hang on, and Austin Veers in that 3rd position. He's been clicking off laps here. And kind of almost the same kind of role that he played in half number 1. He was sitting in that 3rd spot for the beginning portions of half number 1, and in the long runs was able to knock him down and click some of these laps off. And by the end of it, he was one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, and of course, getting that half number 1 victory. As Johnny Eckert, though, Johnny Eckert. Now, how many wins does he have? Do you have that stat available?
Oh, brother. One moment, on my way.
All right, we'll get that going, and of course he's the all-time wins leader. We've seen Indelicato, making a run to put himself, moving up on that list. But I'm sure if Johnny Eckert, not in a full-time capacity by any means, even though we've seen him the past few weeks here, looking to get another victory on the notch in the belt.
Johnny has one Eckert. Johnny has 1 win this season. Am I correct? He has picked up a victory. Yes.
Yes, he did win.
He won at Spa.
Spa, yep, he won, I think, half number 2 at Spa.
He is currently at 22 career victories. And do we know how many wins Indelicato has?
God, he's going to be up to like 13.
Oh, hang on, now we got to battle for the lead here now.
6.
So he might have 13. Did he have 7 last year?
Yes, he's at 13. Eckert got real loose off 2 there. Tufts jumped to the outside. We have a caution.
Caution!
Thomas Capuano. Ooh, looks like he's missing the rear bumper.
Well, it looks like Indelicato was involved in this one.
And there was some unhappy drivers. That might be Thomas Capuano. Oh
my goodness.
Ooh, and he clips the front end. And I don't know. It did seem like Indelicato came in there hot. He might be frustrated, mired back in traffic here. He definitely has a faster car than what he's running right now, and he misjudged that a little bit too. But maybe some frustration boiling over, who knows. But for Thomas Capuano, that was an unfortunate event there. Will take him out of the race or running here. It looks like he's still rolling in the meantime.
It looks like they were both. Again, I can't describe it. They weren't exactly going for a lane, and Indelicato was going under him. It looked like the 4 car inched up and the 21 inched down. I'm using kind of the seams on the racetrack to judge it. It was, like you said, kind of a lapse in judgment sort of thing. I don't think the 4 car expected the 21 to move, and I definitely don't think the 21 car. You see the 21 moves down in relation to the car on top of him, and Indelicato definitely moves up. It's just one of those weird, I don't know. And then Indelicato here, he sees the 21 spinning. He gets on the brakes and can't get on them fast enough, and they make more contact. And that right there, that's fairly significant. That's going to hurt them both. I mean, Capuano's junk from that hit right there.
And you know what? Even though it happened, look at Lynch there, gets a little sideways as well, trying to avoid that wreck. But even though it was in 2 totally different parts of the racetrack, we've seen Westergreen and Dallas Mahan get together in the middle of the corner, and that happened, just a little bit before the entry of turn 3. It seemed kind of similar how those wrecks kind of played out, where, maybe one guy you could argue drove in there a little hot, but definitely cars moving around maybe more, a little bit more than the guy on the bottom expected. So it just, frustration's definitely warranted to be had there, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of almost one of those racing things.
Yeah, and it each one you can go back and look and chalk it down to just a racing thing, but it seems that your assessment of a more chaotic half was correct. I don't think I don't remember how many cautions we had at this point in the first half. I know it definitely wasn't 4 though.
Well, at this point in the first half, we had 1.
Yep,
there was
okay,
one
then.
on 18 and then on 25. Those are the first 2.
Well, first 2, okay.
We're definitely having a more chaotic half here, even though like you can chalk up the incidents to just racing, but if they happen enough, then it's not. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Go ahead.
and well, that's why I think there's that fine line, and I think people might get the misconception wrong too. Especially for maybe in Delgado or maybe even my hand on the previous 2 cautions here. Definitely I would chalk them down to racing incidents. But in these situations, this early on in the half, you could definitely be more patient to prevent these accidents to happen. And I think that's a lot of what these frustrations from the drivers. We just heard from the frustrations from Westergreen, and I think in general, and again, it's not just an OSCA problem. We've talked about this. We've seen this in just about every league where just that patience, live to fight another corner, live to help your fellow buddy, your racer out there on the racetrack to live another lap, and as frustrated as I would be to get taken on the last lap, I'd rather have someone get aggressive with me on lap 75 than lap maybe 15 or 10.
Yeah, no one's out here just intentionally wrecking each other. That's not the point. Everybody's here to have fun, but to have fun you got to be clean, and you can race close and race hard, but sometimes there's too close and too hard. And I'm sure this restart, I was going to say, I'm sure this restart will be no exception, as a huge jump there for Eckert as they go down into turn 1.
And how about Kynan Jones now in that second spot?
Well, speaking of aggressive, there's... Ruffles!
Oh, man, and I think they'll run... Oh, man, and 3-pedal Mafia, two-thirds get involved in that wreck. As Carpenter gets a little contact with the 66.
Oh, Seth Rawls got completely cleaned out.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of jogging around here. And Cooper,
that's close again.
And again, just bottling into that corner. I think Cooper was apologizing. He wasn't sure if it was his fault, and and it might have been one of those things. I think what happened here too. We're gonna overanalyze these wrecks now. I feel like I got time.
Maybe he didn't quite get cleaned out like I thought he did.
No, not as bad. And I think Seth Rawls in the middle is reacting to Dallas Myhan, and I don't know if Cooper Johnson had any idea it was potentially that close to being a 3-wide situation. And it never really got to that point, but I don't think he knew how close it was. And if he did, I think he would have gave the 25 car more room going into 1.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at the aftermath there with Carpenter and Neil Rutt. I see Carpenter and Neil Rutt jamming on the brakes as soon as they see smoke, and everybody's like 5 wide. You got to kind of pick a line and hope it works, and they just couldn't see anything. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And we definitely see that from time to time as well, where guys do not slow up for the wreck, and sometimes it looks, even on the replay, it looks like, well, why didn't you just drive lower? But a lot of times you pick your lane, and all of a sudden the wreck comes towards you, you're on the brakes, you're slowing down, but there's not a lot one can do, and then you're definitely involved in it. And
especially, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially here with the way you enter the corner, when you're kind of about a third through the corner, the car does not want to go down. You're either holding your line there, or you're washing up the racetrack. And when you're up there on a restart, there's about a handful of cars below you, so you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, speaking of a restart, and one of the last league races I ran here was actually just a couple weeks ago, and I was minding my own business, running mid-pack like I normally do, and all of a sudden the next thing I know, 2 cars were below me doing whatever. I don't know if it was bad racing, good racing. It didn't matter, because the next thing I knew, I was in the wall. I think I might have flipped a couple times, because there's not, you're kind of held ransom at that line. I didn't have any time to react, and I mean that in that case it happened right alongside of me. But even if I had any chance to move at that point, I was committed in the lane I was in, and from going higher or lower, that pretty much was not an option. And so I could definitely relate to that. But boy, I think we got some different strategies going out on here on the racetrack. But I still got to give an attaboy to Kynan Jones. We've seen him maybe make the longest flip, I think, in human history. I think there could be an iRacing, if there's an iRacing Guinness Book of World Records, I think Kynan would have the longest flip that lasted, I mean, what was it, 27 minutes, I think? Maybe 27 seconds. But either way, did you not see the flip? Were you not in the booth when Kynan flipped in practice?
Was it here?
Yeah, it was just, or before the race tonight.
No, I got like roommates in here. I might have not been on the mic at that point.
Okay. Yeah, so he made a long flip, and we were kind of joking with him, and he's like, man, I think I'd rather be flipping. And he kind of down on himself, had a little bit of a rough half in half number one, but did come back to finish in the 15th spot, so not too bad.
It's going pretty spectacularly right now.
Yeah, in that second spot. So the Land Shark is out to eat right now as we get ready to go back to green on lap 31 of 75. Johnny Eckert, Mr. Three-time, Mr. All-time wins leader about any record. Johnny Eckert's on top. He's looking to extend that here now as the green flag is back out, and a great jump by our champion. Tufts gets that rocket launch on the outside. Trying to look to hold on to that third spot, but Austin Beers running low, and man, I think he got all the way up to second, and cautions out once again.
What a corner for Beers there, and he's going to be able to go to the front row. And who is it? Who do we lose?
I think that was Conrad and Neil Rutt. I believe that's Conrad and Rutt. Yeah, Rutt the third. So man, it two cautions in a row. Rutt, I think, a victim of circumstances once again.
My goodness, I don't remember what track it was. What was the one race where exactly. What was the one race where he kept hitting the brakes and locking up and spinning out?
Netcode.
Oh, Netcode once again.
They were just running next to each other, and I guess 35 bounced.
Again, at this point now too, we've seen this quite a bit tonight. Those weird bouncy netcodes, and it was going to be close there as well, but looked like definitely netcode. I don't know.
Help me out here. There was one race where Neil Rutt, he avoided contact 3 races by just
I remember. I just don't know what track.
Was it Darlington?
I don't.
It was not.
It was a shorter track, wasn't it? It was a shorter track, wasn't it? It was North Wilkesboro, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember it was just like every time I turned around, Neil Rutt was like sideways, but not hitting anything because he was getting on the brakes to miss the wreck, and he didn't hit anything. It happened again there.
Yeah, and he's got the rear brakes or brakes to the rear, and definitely getting woed up in time.
By the way, I know it's a race broadcast. Broncos and Colts, 9-6. More field goals.
So 2 more field goals. So it's a barn burner.
Oh, it's really picking up.
It's really picking up. But one thing I do have to know, I keep forgetting, or never really got a chance to say it when initially crossed my mind, because we had pretty much since then we've had a lot to unpack here in this half. But obviously we've seen my my points pick go out the window early on in the going.
Yeah, Carlos, this is our chance, guy.
I'm so excited, dude.
Who do you have again this half?
My hand.
Your hand. All right.
6. Okay. And then you have Johnny Eckert in the lead. But I have to go with an emotional support pick, so I don't feel totally left out since my guy's gone. And I'm gonna try to break the. No, I'm going to break the voodoo here. I'm going with the 99. I'm going with Gilberto.
What?
Of Javier Guevara. Just this is emotional support pick
this
for both
count.
of us.
There's not a clean fender on that race car.
It doesn't matter. He's still running 15.
He's still digging.
He's still digging. He's not in a wreck of any crazy doing. And I'm just for both of us, if we can compete for a top 10, I think that will mean the world emotionally for both of us.
All respect to you. I'm with it. I'm with it. If Gilberto gets a top 10, I will celebrate on your behalf.
Yes, we will.
And his
I think even he will celebrate. I think especially the way this season's gone for him. You know, we talked about Westergreen and the frustrations had for him. I think Alberto could be right on that bandwagon as well of being frustrated. But plugging along here, he's doing the old. He's going to grit it out here. Let's see if he can do so. That's, you know, you have your Shift Esports model. I don't know what it is, and you know, obviously he's part of that S2 family. But on my team, Do Good, it's gritted out. And just get what you can, and I'm feeling vibes for that 99.
Oh yeah,
and you can get a top 10.
You know, I was actually able to meet him at the NASCAR Michigan race weekend when I was down there for ARCA. He came up a day early and hung out a little bit. He's a real nice guy, real likable guy. I don't think there's not an evil, ill-intentioned bone in that man's body. So definitely wish all the best for him.
Yeah, let's hope he can get up towards the front. So that's the emotional support pick. Everyone watching at home, root for the 99. As we get back going, green flag on lap 36. Johnny Eckert once again getting a great jump. And Austin Beers trying to battle, get into that second spot once again. Past Kynan Jones.
Ooh,
He's hanging
some
on to the top
contact
5.
there between Coop and Dallas. And Delicado has to slam on the brakes to avoid spinning the 91. They are really checking up here, and Delicado almost gets turned down the backstretch by Brent Jones.
Oh man, so there's been a lot of action for that 4 car, definitely in half number 2, trying to rebound. I think ever since, you know, the first couple laps when we had that first caution, sitting in that 9th position for the meantime. But he has Brent hungry on his tail, breaking into that top 10.
Beers throwing it way under Johnny Eckert for the lead.
And see if he can make it stick on corner exit here, side by side down the backstretch. Johnny's going to get that run. We're going to see that 19, I think, dive it deep here in 3.
Beers has been a huge user of this slide job move, and the crossover by the other car has not worked yet. And I don't think it's going to work for Eckert. He's going to draw pretty close here, but now Beers has that preferred line.
And you see Johnny get a little upset going into, coming out of 4, but into 1, he gets a good run. But I think at the end game here, I think Austin Beers is going to prevail. But
maybe Eckert. Maybe Eckert takes a page out of his book here, and he's going to do it. Yep, he's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to drive all the way down to the bottom, slide up, and now Beers has got to cross him over.
Let's see if Beers now can make it work. He's set other people up to try to do the same. Oh man, Eckert trying to hang on. And yeah, he's there, able to hang on right now. Holy moly.
They're still
duking it out side by side for the lead.
Oh, Eckert real loose there. I think Beers is going to clear him.
Eckert's shifting.
And he will.
Is he?
Yeah. Let me go in car.
Interesting. You got to turn your share screen off.
Is it not on?
It's on. I'm watching.
I had it turned off.
That sounds like a you problem. It's going in the corner here.
Yep.
Shift. He's shifting.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Oh.
So you gotta wonder on the when you shift, you definitely get that you can get that better roll through the center, but you're gonna burn those tires up a little bit quicker than if you don't shift. So you gotta wonder if in the long run if that's gonna pay off for Johnny Eckert, if that's gonna kind of wear out his tires. I don't know if Beers is in that same boat, but he's still right there. He ran a faster lap last time than Austin Beers.
And they both checked out from the field completely. The gap, yeah, no, it's weird. Austin Beers got by him, but Eckert has reeled him right back in. You see he's closing here, closing. He's not going to make an attempt to pass, but he is not letting that 19 car go anywhere. These two are definitely not done, and it's certainly a two-horse race right now. Yeah, you see there, he gets a real good corner there, gets a good exit. He's stalking him.
Stalking indeed, maybe trying to save those tires a little bit for another run. And now I don't know, for some reason my memory's in a fog. Have these guys pitted yet?
Okay.
I think
Austin Beers went down pit road on lap 22. He had 4 tires in field. Johnny Eckert has not pit yet.
Oh wow.
Really?
So he's hanging on with no tires, and you still got to think there's been a couple cautions obviously benefiting Austin Beers, but he's still going to be extremely close, you'd think, on fuel, especially burning up front in the lead, trying to hold off that 12 car of
Second,
Johnny
third, and 4th have yet to go down pit road.
Wow,
Interesting.
So doing a good job for Jones and Tufts, not coming down pit road, able to hold on to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions right now as Cooper Johnson looks underneath Caden Tufts. He's going to move into that 3rd spot.
Eckert's looking for the lead. Eckert's got a nose on him. Here we go again.
He's got to see if he can pull that slide job off. He's got to downshift, make sure that those old tires grip. Not quite able to hang on, and right now it doesn't seem like the speed, obviously. I mean, he's right there behind Austin Beers, but I think as you mentioned in half number 1, you know, maybe that grip on corner exit, that's probably the biggest factor, I think, between Austin Beers and Johnny Eckert is going to be is just that corner exit.
And you know, if Eckert gets that straight shot off, he actually does beat Austin Beers. But the difference is, Austin Beers doesn't have to have as straight of an exit to beat Johnny Eckert because of that rear tire difference. That's the advantage. Eckert definitely has to be more perfect, and there are corners where he is more perfect, and you can see it happen. But the margin for error for the driver of the night team there is definitely a lot easier on him because of the advantage of rear grip.
And I gotta wonder too, does Beers have anything? Ooh, I was gonna say that, but as the way he drove off that corner, I don't know. Thought maybe is he taking it a little easy? Know that he can play a little bit with the older tires of Eckert. Maybe make Eckert think he's got a shot for the lead, wear those tires out a little bit more. But just by the way Beers is driving, I don't think that might be the case.
When did Nick and Delicato take tires? Because don't look now, somehow he is in 3rd place, and he beat our 2 leaders on lap times by 2/10 last time around.
The last time he went down pit road was also on lap 22, and it seems like he had a 16-second stop, so he probably took some damage and tires.
Well, he's taking chunks out. He's gaining about a 10th or 2 a lap, and he's taking Cooper Johnson right with him to the front.
Yeah, so I mean, even with that damaged race car running a lot faster.
Caution!
Caution!
Oh!
Oh! Bracy getting in the back of John Lynch, who spun around the racetrack. And it looks like might have been contact between the 86 and
Net code.
Oh,
I mean, it looks like it from there.
okay,
If you get an aerial view,
Okay, alright, I'll get in there.
I promise. And you know what? Honestly, they might have wrecked each other anyways.
No, like, the car for sure was definitely going to get sideways like that. Without no
He was going to get hit. I think they were going to touch anyways. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but the initial bump that kind of shot the car upwards, that was nice.
Yes.
Cool. And I think that's maybe the general thing that maybe the misconception or what can happen with netcode, because it did definitely look like there was going to be contact, but I think with that help from the netcode, that definitely made that contact probably more severe than what it potentially would have been. But it would have been probably still a hard slide for John Lynch to correct there. But as we see the leaders come down pit road, it looks like everybody this time.
Oh, not everybody.
Oh, Aaron Lineman, I believe, is the first car to stay out.
Lineman. I don't think Alex Kenton's just getting laps back. Lineman's going to be the only car on the lead lap staying out, it looks like.
The lap led. I don't know if he's going to...
Oh, hang on. Tarble.
Dustin
Tarble as well. No, they're all a lap down. They are all 1 lap down.
And Delicato, 2 tires.
2 tires for him. Wow. It's a couple strategies. Ooh, Dylan Thomas as well. Kynan Jones.
Oh, this is huge.
Neil Rutt, but he's further back.
Neil Rutt, yeah, he moved up to the 12th spot. And Dewar, I think he'd almost have to come down pit road because his car, we've seen in that earlier David Westergreen wreck, his car is used up. So this
it looks like something Austin Beers would normally drive here.
He's doing what I did in the earlier race today.
Lineman coming down pit road. Dewar decides to stay out. For Dewar, I gotta wonder if he used up his sets of tires accidentally when he's getting his damage fixed. I wonder maybe he doesn't have the option to pit. But hopefully for him, he can keep the pace. I don't know if he's gonna have that pace he had in half number 1.
You know,
that damage on the front end.
I was really hoping that was going to go green because in Delicato and Cooper Johnson were pulling. They were going to gain, and it was going to be 4 cars under a blanket. But now it gets really interesting with strategy because in Delicato, as we mentioned, was was definitely, he and Cooper Johnson were definitely much faster than the 2 leaders. But that clean air and that launch that you get off the restarts, maybe he thinks taking 2 tires, he can still be fast enough to hang on to the lead. And he's got a cushion of 2 cars behind him now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He'll have a gap, and I believe here, Dewar himself asked for a EOL penalty, so he did get a lap led. Got what he wanted out of it.
Big loser here was Cooper Johnson. He'll be restarting 11th.
Yeah, that's well, he's right now sitting in 9th, so he might have gained a couple spots with Lineman and Dewar going to the back.
As I go back and look at it, he slid through his box. He had to back it up, and that was a big one right there.
So now, now we get to see a new player here in the mix. We haven't seen him in a good scenario, I believe, all night, and that's Dylan Thomas, that 03, that Michael Waltrip throwback on the inside. We'll see if track position does him any good, as we're going to get one to go here, about 3/4 of a lap.
And Dylan Thomas was fast in that first half. I was looking at him. I believe I was talking pretty early about guys that were moving up the field that weren't gaining all that much spots. And Delicado gained 6, Rally gained 6, and Dylan Thomas he started 19th, got up to 13th fairly quickly. He's got speed. He just he can't buy a break tonight, and this could be his break here.
We'll see how it plays out as the pace truck's going to get ready to dive down pit road. We'll have 24 laps to go once we hit the green, or get the green flag. Wait till get the guy restart zone. Green flag's out. Delicado's on that loud pedal. He's going to get a good jump as Tufts and Thomas. No, that's Johnny Eckert. Sorry. They look similar from the front. Battle for that 2nd position.
I don't know what the allowance is for the pace speed on a restart.
Oh!
Yep, Dylan Thomas black flagged. I was going to say something about it. He is black flagged, and Vic is going to clear it for him.
He must have been on that bubble for pace speed on the inside.
Yes, yeah, he did go a little bit early, but
he did not jump the start.
Yeah,
there was no jump.
No jump. No jump is the call. He'll hang on to that 2nd spot in the meantime, but Johnny Eckert looks underneath. He does that slide job. Ooh, boy,
I don't think he was quite clear. I don't think he was quite. I think they might have had some very minor contact caution. Oh, in the backstretch. Gilberto's in it. Meefine is in it. Gaten Tufts is in it.
Oh, me no fine.
Robert Hill Jr. in the inside wall as well. And
oh, wow, this.
You don't see him. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Zach. How's the car? Then we'll find out here.
This was Robert Hill and Neil Rutt. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh. Hill getting off the wall. Ooh. Like Zach up into the outside wall. Take a look on the onboard of the Meefine Foundation Ford.
Ooh,
oh,
that's
nowhere
heavy.
to go. That's a heavy hit to the front. Oh, that was even heavier. That 2nd hit. Oh no.
Oh, your safety pick.
Oh, my emotional support pick.
Oh, he's gonna cry now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of Zach and Gilberto have just have rough seasons.
We'll get you a new emotional support pick.
Yeah. Man, I don't feel like, am I just jinxing these guys further with picking them? You know what? I know who it is. Did you see the hot rod of Brett Jones get through that wreck?
Yep.
Emotional
he just almost
support
got clipped
pick.
too.
Emotional support pick number 2. I think we need to onboard if we can, Carlos, of the 89 getting through that wreck. That was
Jones.
Pretty fancy driving for the 89 there.
If we're gonna show Brent Jones, John Lynch didn't have to do a whole lot, but John Lynch had an interesting view too. The seas kind of parted for him.
That wasn't quite as crazy as it looked from that side view, but yeah, those cars were close.
You gotta move over to John Lynch now.
Oh
no, never mind.
Sorry. No, we can.
Okay, well you gotta do the. Yep. Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal's on it.
What? Where did it stop?
Well, John Lynch is in fact on the screen. Here we go.
See how lucky this man gets. See right on top, Gilberto. Oh boy, sees did
slip right through. Took one with him too. Took Tim Conrad with him.
Yep. They're now sitting in the hot tub now in the 14th and 15th positions. So those picks, the guys, what?
I'm gonna point it out here. Caden Tufts just made mention of it in the driver's text channel. The time limit could become a factor here. The limit is 53 minutes. We are currently approaching 47 minutes. We're gonna have 6 minutes left, and I don't know if 6 minutes is enough.
9.5 minutes.
Incorrect. Yeah, I was about to say incorrect because the leader at the line was about 43 minutes. So I know it says elapsed time.
So is the elapsed time? Is the elapsed time not? It's wrong.
That's because it counts pace laps.
So
that is wrong. When you look at the like your in sim, go to results and then see what the leader's time is. Like feature says 42.55.018. That's what the time
I also have it on screen right now.
Uh-huh.
So 9 minutes right now. That's correct.
Okay, that's good. You might want to leave that there.
Listen, I come prepared.
I didn't think you had that. That is some preparation.
So Matthew, the next time you doubt Carlos, don't.
I never doubt Carlos.
Sometimes Carlos doubts Carlos, though. That's the real issue here. Yeah.
He's allowed to, as long as nobody else does.
That's true. So I still got to point my emotional support pick number 1, still grinding it out in the 21st position on the lead lap. A lot of damage to that car. I'm still having faith that he can get a top 20 out of this.
So we hope they finish the race.
Yeah, let's hope that. And how many laps do we have to go?
Looks like we're going to be coming to 58 here. Carlos has
19.
Got look at that, he just flipped between them like clockwork.
This could be close, especially if we do get a couple more yellows in for sure. But if you're Nick and Delicado,
Carlos.
What?
Stay on the timer.
Yeah.
Green flag is back out. 8 minutes to go. A little under 8 minutes to go.
Oh, huge jump.
Huge jump for the 4 car. He's going to get a good advantage. As man, he got big. He's got a daylight. Huge.
Oh boy.
As Dylan Thomas moving into the
spin towards the inside wall. Seth Rawls into the inside wall.
Oh,
couple more cars going through the grass.
Staying green so far. Again, you see that time is a factor for sure. There's a lot of cars losing track position. So that gap that Indocado had, it's closed a little bit. Right now, Austin Beers moving into that second spot.
Contact between Beers and Dylan Thomas there. Beers
watch them up.
We have a caution.
Oh, caution. Oh, heavy contact. Kynan Jones, Adam Tepe, John Lynch involved. Brett Jones in the inside wall.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Oh, boy.
Your emotional support picks.
Number 2. But, hey, it helped out my emotional support pick number 1. This is a very complicated game. He's up to 13.
I don't know what to make of it anymore.
I don't know. This is just chaotic.
Who's your next pick?
You know what? I'm going back to the OG. I'm going back to Gilberto. He's in 13th. I'm a bandwagon fan. I apologize, Gilberto.
Why don't you emotionally support pick Ty McIntosh?
You know what? I think he should be YouTube's. The viewers out there, he's got to be their emotional support pick. Had the internet issues. Yeah.
How is he 8th?
And his car looks relatively clean. I think a little damage on the back end of that race car.
Have you? The nose doesn't look very pretty.
Well, I mean, I said relatively speaking. I mean, look at a lot of these cars.
I guess he's in pretty. You know, actually, Johnny Eckert's car doesn't have a scratch on it, and now, of course, I say that he's going to end up on his lid next time we go around.
So definitely now, Vic might have made the best call before this last green flag run.
You got to leave the timer up there.
Yeah, leave that timer up there. This could be a big factor.
I'm not touching it.
No,
we're there.
I'm just talking about the call, but yeah, now we're definitely talking.
As a matter of fact,
time's going to be a factor, but and I think this plays into two hands here now, knowing that time is going to be a factor. You got Austin Beers. He looks like he has a fast hot rod. He's back up into the second position. Does that lead to more aggressive driving, especially for the battle for the lead?
Yes, and it's the same as the laps winding down, but it's even less time. It is truly a mathematical impossibility to get the laps in at this point. It's about 30 seconds for each lap. We've only got enough time for 10 laps, and there's about 15 to go. So laps are no longer a factor entirely. It is all about that clock winding down. And now
We
it
have,
must
like,
just
one
pretend it's a
restart.
race. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be
Why?
big. Because why?
No, why do you say huge?
Huge?
I know why it's gonna be big.
Can we stop talking about how big it's gonna be?
It's gonna be ginormous.
You want to quote The Office again? With a certain catchphrase?
That's what she said.
That's what
Oh,
she
no.
said.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
So this is gonna be, for Austin
We're
Beers,
doubling up
he's gotta be aggressive. Yep, we're
Vic
going
shortened
one
the
degree.
caution.
And now Indelicato choosing the outside line. Austin Beers has got to be on it on this restart, but we've seen so close. We've seen a penalty from the 32 of Dustin Dewar in half number 1. We've seen the 03 of Dylan Thomas flirt with it. Came very close to getting that black flag on the last restart. And now we'll get this green flag with just a little over 3.5 minutes to go in this race. Oh boy, this should be fun. This should be exciting. Green flag is out.
Doing it again, Matt.
Good start. Good
Yep,
start
thank you.
for Indelicato, but Austin Beers definitely didn't cap him as much as he did last time. And for Austin Beers, he's going to want to see those guys behind him race clean, but they are 3 wide, I think, even further back in the pack.
Uh-oh.
Dylan Thomas moving for that 3rd position under Johnny Eckert going into 3.
Contact, Eckert's up the track. Doesn't hit anything.
Oh man, but he's going to lose a lot of track position. He's going to fall all the way back.
Gets in the wall, too.
Oh boy,
it's Isabella. They all keep it straight.
oh man, they are grinding all over each other. They are just making contact everywhere. I had to move on. Move on. That's what she said.
Oh, Eckert's drifting off the corner.
Oh boy, he's having a hard time hanging on to that race car. And he's holding on to, where is he falling back to that 6th spot? And he is having a tough time trying to stay in the top 10.
Oh, it's Austin Beers all over Nick Indelicato for the lead now. It's a 2-horse race. They seem to have pulled away from Dylan Thomas.
And if he knows anything what's going on in the back of the pack here, how hard these guys are racing, he's got to try to make that move as quickly as possible.
He's got to go. Cooper Johnson just did everything humanly possible to keep it off the left rear of Zach Roethlisberger. Any other throttle input he would have spun. There goes Beers now to the inside, almost there. They couldn't be any closer. You couldn't put a paperclip between them.
Oh man, they almost made contact.
They did make contact there.
Oh, they made contact there at the line. I think Beers has the advantage going into 1. He's gonna have to pull that slide job on him. Can he do it? I don't think he has the space. Oh boy.
No, Indelicato didn't give him any room. He did not hit Indelicato. He checked up for him, and that is a drag race down the backstretch.
Wow, they are side by side. 1 minute 45 seconds to go. Beers is gonna drive it deep. See if Indelicato can pull that crossover move. Oh, and they slide through the grass. Stay green, stay green. Kynan Jones, hang on. Oh, he's still saving it.
He's good.
Oh man, they still got some cars to dodge them.
It's a battle within the battle.
Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here on the racetrack for sure. 1 minute 15 seconds to go here in this race. Does Indelicato have anything left to make one last run? Dylan Thomas kind of closed in on these two after they battled for that lead. Does he have enough time? 1 minute to go as they hit the line.
Oh, it's going to be close if they get another lap, and we could see the white flag next time. And there goes Indelicato diving down to the inside of Beers. He's not going to be able to make that stick. Beers is going to get the drive off again.
We got it. Oh, Dylan Thomas around. They stay green for now, but they're spinning.
They're keeping it going. They're keeping it going.
Inside wall. Oh boy, Dylan Thomas. Good run ends. As him and Roethlisberger get together, Thomas stuck to the inside wall.
Dylan.
Oh no, Dylan. He backs up on the racetrack. Is that going to bring out a yellow?
No caution yet.
No caution yet, as he does get, I believe, going under power. And wow, so this should be the white flag next time by. Austin Beers pulling away, looking to pull those brooms out. And Indelicato, he's going for it. He's no team. Oh man, he's on that apron. He's digging. He's doing whatever he can to try to get.
Actually, no, that's it. That's the end of the race. Because the
That's
time
it.
expired before they crossed the line. It became the white flag, so it's over.
Wow,
It
what a
is done.
finish!
So Johnny Eckert came back to finish in the top 5 there in 4th. See Beers winning, Delgado 2nd, Cooper Johnson 3rd, Eckert 4th. Vincent Isabella rounds out the top 5, and chaotic half number 2 for sure.
Still turned out to be a whale of a battle and a whale of a finish. I'm just happy it was not decided by a caution. I'm just glad that 2 of the best racers in this league got the opportunity to duke it out and really go toe-to-toe for a few laps there. And it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. You seen clean yet aggressive. And, they made contact, but they kept it, as far as contact is concerned, very clean, very respectful driving for both those drivers for the win, and put on one whale of a show to round out half number 2. And now the very controversial teammate burnouts for Vincent Isabella and Austin Beers. To each their own. I dig it if they do it classy, and it was classy until Isabella knocked him into the wall.
Oh, he pinned him into the wall. Oh, and Beers fights back.
It's a fight.
Cooper Johnson's up here in interview waiting. By the way, he's ready to go.
All right, we'll bring him in, and what a points night here for Cooper Johnson, coming home in 3rd here in half number 2, and came home 2nd in half number 1, and certainly, Coop, it was pretty hard to, restarts and things like that, but it definitely looked like you you're right up there as far as race winning speed was concerned.
I was genuinely surprised. I topped the charts in practice, which a lot of that had to do with the fact that I got in early, but I don't like this place. This is like right next to Richmond is like the 2 places that I don't like to go to and don't like racing at. It's just this long winds, like flat corners. It's not fun to race for me, but hey, I was surprised that I was able to hang with Austin there in the first half. There were points there where I was right on his bumper where I thought I could, I thought about doing the old bump and run, but I had to be a good teammate again, like I did last week. I pushed Vince to the win, and I'll say I let Austin win that first half. But yeah, tonight I take the points all day long, 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and as we continue to say, you're getting that momentum, you're getting things going. It seems like right at the right time. Late here in the regular season, and that's got to feel good. And as you said too, especially at a track that you don't like, that's got to feel amazing too. But and I guess another thing too, has your opinions changed on this track a little bit after this awesome run here tonight?
Maybe a little bit, and not too much. It's just a little bit. I will definitely accept the nice luck that New Hampshire gave me tonight. A lot of it had to do with just the fact that I qualified well. The fact that I was able to qualify in the top 5 there is huge, just because it's so hard to pass at this track. That's the other main thing, is like it's very, very hard. You almost have to dive bomb people going in. Like if you're going to try and pass somebody on the bottom, you almost have to like really throw it in there, hope that it sticks, and hope that it, like, by the time you get to the middle of the corner, it kind of bites and you can get that run off the corner. But yeah, I enjoyed tonight. I'm enjoying the momentum. The last couple of races that we ran, the luck is kind of starting to swing back the other way. But Matthew, I need you to tell the driver of the 4 car there to back it off a little bit. All right, I need him to kind of calm down. Maybe stop practicing so much. Maybe that's his key. I don't know why he's running so well. But I need to keep this thing competitive.
Dude, I've been playing racing games with that guy since I was like 14, and he's always been a step ahead of me. I don't know what it is. I have no answer for you.
Yeah, I was able to really chip in tonight at the points lead that Kian had, but obviously, Nick is he's had an amazing regular season, so good for him though.
Yeah, it's it hasn't been too shabby yourself here, and next week we head to Las Vegas. So where are you going to place your bets? How are you feeling heading into Vegas?
Well, I enjoy any sort of mile and a half. Vegas is it's another mile and a half that I'm going to hopefully have some good luck going to. It's not one of my favorite mile and a halves. It's like Charlotte and Texas are kind of some of my favorite mile and a halves. I know saying Texas is one of my favorites is a controversial thing to say, but hopefully Vegas will treat me well. Hopefully the luck will come my way, and we'll get some more points going into next week.
Are you saying the new Texas too?
Yes, I know.
Wow! Wow!
I am a anomaly to say that I like the new Texas, but
you're one of one. I feel like.
Yeah, I know. Every time that thing shows up in the officials and everyone's in there in the chats like complaining, "Oh, this track is terrible. I hate coming here. I don't even know why I chose to run this race." I'm like, I actually kind of like it. It's kind of fun for me.
Yeah, so that's weird because if anyone ever asks you what makes you unique to anyone else in the entire planet, I think you could say I like the new Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I'm definitely an odd person because I can say that I like the new Texas and then I don't like Richmond, which is like everyone's favorite place to go race is like Richmond. Like, oh, it's so much fun and such a racer's track. I'm like, I hate this place.
Yeah, see, you're defying all the racer stereotypes with that statement for sure. But before we let you go, celebrate this awesome run here tonight. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to you guys. Matthew, welcome back. Good to have you back in the booth. You guys do a great job every single week. Shout out to 3 White TV, Carlos. Shout out to Vic for putting on this league. I know the last month or so has been tough with the cautions, but tonight felt cleaner. I don't know if it had to do with the whole having 2 sets of tires, but it felt cleaner at least. It felt like we were able to get longer green flag runs. Shout out to Juicebox Podcast, anywhere that you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple, anywhere. Check those guys out. Those guys are awesome. Been sponsoring me forever, and let's go have some fun at Vegas next week.
All right. Well, hopefully you get that action on. Place your bets. Place yourself to win. Don't pull Pete Rose and do anything too illegal. But best luck to you next weekend at Las Vegas.
All right. Thank you, boys.
Yeah, you bet. That's Cooper Johnson coming home second half number 1, and then third here in half number 2. But up next we'll have Nick Indelicato, who had an eventful night here tonight, and we'll let Matt take it away here.
Yeah, it's Nick Indelicato finishing third in the first half and second in the second half there. Nick, I know in OSCA this season you've been more accustomed to qualifying up front, leading a bunch of laps, and really being the dominant guy that everybody's come to know in this league, but you really had to get your elbows out and drive some. It was a slower start to that first half, and it was chaos from start to finish in the end of that second half. Really describe what the main battle was for you all night long.
Yeah, this track's really hard to pass at, and it wasn't easy for me at all. So first race, I think we started 13th, worked our way up eventually. Thought I had a shot at Beers on a longer run. I feel like I saved my tires really well, and then a yellow came out. But once I got up there, I held my ground pretty well. I had an incident in the second race, which, obviously never want to happen, never want to get into incidents, but I still battled through that and had a 2-tire call there at the end. Almost had Beers. I saw the time limit and I, took a shot at it. So I can't be mad with a third place and a second place. It'll only help the points. So just overall solid night for a track that I really don't look forward to.
It was lap 49 in that second half when you came down and took 2 tires, and the jumps on the restart are huge, and you know how hard it is to pass. And if you're not one of the first few guys in line, it's going to be hard to have a shot at the lead. And I have to wonder, I know you were thinking track position there, and I don't know if the 2 left side tires would have helped you at the end of that race. Is there any other call you think you would have made?
I mean, I had a combination of the left sides. I think they were only like 2 or 3% worse than the newer tires, so it wasn't bad. And then I had a little bit of damage from the previous 2 wrecks that I was in. So, I mean, I feel like there's a combination of those, but I definitely could have driven better. I feel like I could have held that bottom more and made Beers go around me instead of giving him the bottom and he drove around me. So, small little things. I think it was going to be hard to win either way, but, I'll take 2 top 3s. It's always nice to finish up here.
Speak to the battle with Beers, because we saw a lot of guys get near each other and just run into each other, but you guys got close as you possibly could and even touched a couple of times and kept it pretty respectful.
Yeah, Beers is really good to these short tracks. I actually told him, I think coming off 4, when he got side-by-side with me, I doored him. I got a little loose, and I didn't want to overcorrect into the wall, so I kind of leaned on him, so that was my fault. But Other than that, we got really close, and he did a great job controlling it on the bottom. As you said, it's easy to slide up and hit people. We saw it all night, so he did a good job. It was a really fun battle there at the end. You don't get that a lot, but when you do get it, it's very rewarding. So shout out to him.
Previewing next week, we got a date with Las Vegas. I know that's historically a pretty good track for you. Looking to maybe, I would say, get back on track. I guess third and second isn't exactly off track, but maybe Vegas, you get back into the win column next week.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Vegas is, I think, next to Texas. I feel like it's one of my favorite tracks on the service, or Auto Club,
hang on now. He said Texas is one of your favorite.
Oh, I love Texas. I love Texas.
Oh my God!
What is happening?
I love Texas.
We had Cooper Johnson come in here and say, like, yeah, I think I'm an anomaly here, but I love it's one of his favorite tracks too. So that was a shocker. Now there's two of you.
Yeah, new Texas, old Texas, either one, I'm down. Actually, funny enough, I think in the ARCA car, I hold a qualifying record for one of the weeks. So I enjoy both of those, old and new. But yeah, Las Vegas is going to be fun. Hopefully, can get a W. Just got to stay out of the pack and stay up front.
Yeah, well, good running tonight. You got any shout-outs, any thanks to hand out before we let you go here?
Yeah, shout out Shift Esports. We had a good run tonight. I know I had Seth finish behind me, and Kian had a really good run in the first race, and just had an instant in the second one. So once again, the team mentality in leagues that we do together are, it's amazing. We help each other out, and I think everybody does a great job. So shout out Shift Esports. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, trying to build the socials. And then every week you see it on the car. Sam Drace, a great friend of mine. He does motorsports photography in real life, and he posts them on Instagram, Twitter as well. So go follow him, check out him. And then Seth Rawls, as I said earlier, makes all these beautiful paint schemes for these cars. So if you need a paint scheme for iRacing, DM him, he'll get one made.
Nick, congratulations again on the duo of podiums for you tonight. Thanks for coming out and putting on a show. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all, Texas.
That is Nick Delicato. I would definitely say Sam Dreas got his money's worth there, advertising on that car.
Yeah, it was fun. Another guy who got I guess his own team advertisement enough as Austin Beers, winner of half number 1 and 2. So we're Austin, I'm going to ask you to put that broom away for just a second after you pulled off this sweep here tonight. Man, it got interesting down there at the end when the clock played a factor, and it seemed like you played that aggressive card just right. Tell us how you're able to get it done.
Yeah, I knew I had to get it done, and I knew that Nick was on 2. He told me, because I wanted to have him tell me when he was going that last restart so I could get a little bit of a jump, but he told me he's on 2, so I was like, all right, that makes sense. So I just tried to get him as quickly as I could, and I'm sure it was a hell of a show for you guys up in the booth because it was pretty fun inside the car.
Yeah, talk about it. We talked in Delicato about it a little bit too, or Matthew did when he did the interview. Watching that race, it was the perfect combination of clean, respectful driving, and also laying that aggressive fender on each other. You guys look like you're both leaning on each other a little bit. I guess talk us through how easy it might be to put a guy in the fence, but putting on that show of beating and banging fenders and putting on a nice clean aggressive show. That's certainly got to mean a lot to do it that way as well.
Yeah, it's super hard. I mean, I think you saw it with me and Dylan. I expected him to lift a little earlier than he did, and unfortunately I already committed to try to slide up, do the slide job that I was doing, and we clipped right before that, I think the last yellow. So it's definitely, there's a margin of error that it's pretty easy to hit. So when me and Nick were battling side by side, I knew that I had to, take it easy and not kill the poor kid because he's on 2. But no, it was fun. We were leaning on each other, and it was just hard-nosed racing. And, I feel like me and Nick are 2 of the best in this league, and I feel like it was a great show, and I'm just proud to, I think, be the first driver ever to sweep the strictly stock race and the 2 sportsman races.
Well, yeah, you're perfect tonight. I didn't even think. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yeah, it was definitely a great night indeed. I know Johnny's come close, but I don't know if he ever did pull it off or not. But definitely something we might have to get Matthew on the stat books for that for sure for next week to make sure you have that sole title. But But again, you had that big gap between your last win and then the win earlier this season. Now you got 3, and what's kind of the mindset, especially next week as we head to Las Vegas?
Put those win stickers on the car and try to add 2 more. That's just the mindset. Keep trying to win, and hopefully make the playoffs. And I forgot, after I won my last race, I told you I was going to wear a suit, and I forgot.
Yeah.
So I will do it next week.
You pull a sweep. I think now we're going to bump this up to a tux.
Tux? I don't know what a tux.
Well, you might have to rent one.
All right.
No. I think as long as he wears a suit and shows us proof, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Well, what about a fancy bow tie? I might know somebody, maybe potential sponsor for somebody. Miss Goodies. She makes bow ties.
I'll wear it.
All right.
I'm down.
Yeah. Get you a bow tie made. Maybe she has some extra ones as well. But with that, before we let you go celebrate the perfect night here tonight, any shout outs you want to give?
Just to a question first, too.
Okay.
Did anybody pick me?
No.
Matthew.
Maybe...
What?
What are you doing? Who'd you pick?
Johnny.
Come on.
He won the poll in the first half, and I thought maybe if he didn't tear down the catch fence, he'd do good in the second half. You can't blame me, man.
Unbelievable. Still down me. After all we've been through.
Hey,
we didn't want to jinx you. That's what it was.
we didn't
All
want
right,
to jinx you. We were taking care of you.
I'll take it. I mean, Vic picked me and I won.
I'll pick you twice next week, and we'll see how it ends for you.
Flip through the catch fence. It's all done. At least I could take the suit off early.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, shout outs to Beers Motorsports 6415. You guys doing a hell of a broadcast. I'm gonna watch it back. I'm sure there'll be cool clips of me and Nick running side by side. Vic for putting up with us idiots as always, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, I know you're still young for that beer, Mr. Beers, but I think a cool picture would be you shotgunning 2 beers wearing that suit.
That would be pretty cool. I also forgot to shout out Big Kitty. Big Kitty.
Oh,
up
Big
in the
Kitty.
sky.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's a
Rest in
deep-rooted.
Throwback.
That is deep-rooted OSCA lore.
Big Kitty was
That's
on
right.
the pit box tonight. Helped us.
It was racing in your heart, at least. The
That's why I
pit
didn't
box, the pit box in your heart.
That's why I didn't screw up the pit strategy tonight. Big Kitty was making the calls.
Real quick, let me squeeze in. Austin, I want to talk to you briefly after our broadcast here.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Austin's in
Oh, it's-
trouble.
All right. I'll stay in interview waiting. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Well, again, congratulations tonight, Austin, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Las Vegas.
Hopefully, we'll see you guys. Thanks.
You bet. That's Austin Beers, and with that, we'll wrap up tonight's broadcast again. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Next week, we head to the Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love down in Las Vegas. Be sure to tune in, same time, same place right here at 3 Wide Racing Television. Until then, good night now.